titled Harappan Civilization, A Century of Discovery. Not all of us are scholars, so not all of us may be aware of the fact that the earliest discoveries at the Harappan sites date back to as far back as 1829. The person who discovered them was Charles Mason, who was employed by the East India Company Army. While doing some recce for them in the Punjab region, he accidentally stumbled upon the Harappan ruins on the banks of the river Ravi. He was so fascinated by what he found that he actually made copious notes. These notes later found their way into his book, which he published in 1842, called Narratives of Journeys in Baluchistan, Afghanistan, and Punjab region. However, it was almost 90 plus years through the course of the dissolution of the East India Company, arrival of the Crown rule in India, founding of the Archaeological Survey of India, appointing Alexander Cunningham as its first Director General, then arrival of Lord Curzon as our new Viceroy, and then him appointing Sir John Marshall as the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, before concerted and extensive excavations were undertaken at the sites of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Then for a further 3 years, these excavations went on. Their results were confirmed and collated. And then it was announced to the world about the existence of this civilization on the banks of Indus. Now, some of the Indians who worked with both Sir John Marshall and Mortimer Wheeler through these earliest excavations include Dayaram Sahni, R.D. Banerjee, D.R. Bhandarkar, and M.S. Watts. I think we should pay an ode to them today. Over the course of the last 5 days, we have been entertained and enlightened by 10 wonderful lectures by eminent speakers covering various aspects of the Indology of the Harappan civilization. Today, we have 2 more such wonderful talks lined up for us. Our first speaker for the day is Dr. Jeewan Kharakwal on metal technology in Harappan times. He will be followed by Dr. D.P. Sharma on Harappan art with special reference to the National Museum collection. Before we move on to the main program for the day, let me give you a brief introduction about Tamil Heritage Trust, our own organization. Tamil Paramparya Arakattalai or Tamil Heritage Trust was founded almost 14 years back by a group of like-minded volunteers. The main motivation behind starting this organization was to understand, appreciate, disseminate, and celebrate various aspects of our heritage and history, not just for the scholarly and the academia, but the average public who may have a passionate interest in this subject. Towards this end, THT conducts very many events throughout the year. Every month, on the first and third Saturdays, we have talks. Then in the month of December, we have what we call the Pecha Kachchh or an oratory concert. This is a program that runs across 2 days when experts talk about a pre-decided topic. This is meant to coincide with the Isai Kachchh or the musical concerts that take place in the month of December in Chennai. Then we have the Indology festival, and we are on the last day of that. Tamil Heritage Trust also conducts various workshops for the average public who can register and attend them. We have 1-day workshops called How to See a Museum, How to See a Temple, etc. These workshops are conducted in 2 sessions. The forenoon session is theoretical when some information is given to the participants. Then in the afternoon, they are practically taken to a site and then we elucidate upon what was discussed in the forenoon session. We also have classroom sessions on and off where we teach things like Grantham script, ancient Indian mathematics, ancient Indian astronomy, etc. Another program we have is called Alamar Avai. This is basically aimed at the school teachers of Tamil Nadu. Over a series of weekend lectures, various aspects of history and heritage is taught to them and discussed with them so that they go back and disseminate the same among their students, thus spreading awareness. Another program that we have every year, which is usually conducted in the month of January, is called Site Seminar. This is an in-house activity meant to educate and enhance us. We usually zero in on a particular site in India, and for a period of about 3 to 4 months, our volunteers study various aspects of the site, and we have in-house seminars to discuss the same. Then, armed with all this knowledge, we visit those particular sites and experience the various aspects. We come back and document all that we have seen and studied. THT has also constituted 2 important awards to commemorate individual contributions to the field of Indian heritage, history, and epigraphy. The first award is called THT Professor S. Swaminathan Heritage Award, named after our co-founder. We are on the 5th year of this award. The second award is called V. Venkaiah Epigraphy Award and is jointly hosted by the great-granddaughter of V. Venkaiah, the first official epigraphist of India, and THT. We are on the 3rd year of this award. We have a dedicated YouTube channel where you can find links to all our talks right up to yesterday's talks. Kindly subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to receive notifications of future events. We have a website. These are our social media handles. To join our mailing list, you can mail us at this address. And then most important, as I already mentioned, we are a voluntary organization and do not have any dedicated financial support. So any kind of contributions are welcome. Contribute generously by using this barcode or this address. Moving on to the program today. As I already mentioned, the first speaker for today is Dr. Jeewan Kharakwal, and he'll be talking about metal technology in Harappan times. The Harappan civilization excelled in a variety of technologies, including metallurgy. A predominantly urban civilization, by the mature Harappan period, metal technology had attained great perfection. Several metallurgical innovations resulted in exclusive objects of copper, gold, and silver, using minor metals like tin, arsenic, lead, antimony, etc. for alloying. The Harappan bronze tool repertoire comprises of arrowheads, spears, axes, swords, and of course, famous female figurines like that of the dancing girl. In his talk, Dr. Kharakwal would address a wide range of metal utilization with specific references to raw materials and the metallurgical processes used by the Harappans. Dr. Jeewan Kharakwal has carried out extensive field research in Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, and Gujarat on ancient metallurgy, bronze and iron age settlements, rock art, and traditional agricultural rituals and rites. He has directed excavations at several Harappan and Iron Age sites. He has published 6 books and 50 papers and has participated in seminars in many countries in Asia and Europe. Currently a professor and head of the Department of Archaeology at JRN Rajasthan Vidyapeeth, Udaipur. Earlier, he was a fellow of Japan's Society of Promotion of Science and worked as visiting professor in the Research Institute for Humanity and Nature, Kyoto. Dr. Kharakwal obtained his doctorate from Deccan College, Pune, and master's from Kanmer University, Nainital. Welcome, Dr. Kharakwal. We are delighted to have you here today.
Yes, sir. It's good to go.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. You can use the up-down arrow to move around or space bar as well.
Okay, okay. This enter key should also work now, isn't it? No?
Yes, it will. But if it doesn't work, use the space bar and it will keep moving. Up-down arrow is your best bet for moving up and comfortably.
Okay. Thank you, Gauriji, Badriji, Kishorji, and Tamil Heritage Trust. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk on Harappan metal making. Uh, Ever since actually, if you look at the human history for last 6.7 million years, we are on the earth, or we believe that our ancestors were there. The beginning happened. Of course, stone tools are much later, and then metal appeared hardly 6 to 7,000 years ago. But what we see, ever since metal appeared on the different parts of the earth, whether it is West Asia, Egypt, South Asia, China, within 2 to 3,000 years, we see urban situation in most of the areas. It's amazing. It's amazing because we do not know how important role metal played for the urbanization or change in life, human life. I'm sure it must be very, very important, must not be available for everyone initially, but gradually, by the time we have iron at our disposal. Maybe by then, I'm sure iron was much more in quantity, must be available to many people, but maybe not copper, not gold, not other metals. But still, I think it played very, very important role because people, whether they were Egyptians or Chinese or South Asians or Harappans, they did lots of different kinds of experiments with metal making. They made a variety of metals, and Harappans were one of the premiers in that on that line. So actually, what is interesting is that now what you see in this screen is the area of the Harappans. I'm sure since this is this talk series is going on the Harappans itself, and I'm sure most of our listeners, readers, or the trust people, they already know about the Harappan sites. Therefore I thought skip those most of the settlements here because I think it has been very well explained. The urban phase of the Harappans, is 2600 BC to 1900 BC, but you have a very, very long history prior to that also. There are about 1500 known sites. There are many more, but 1500 most of us agree. Out of those 1500, 900 are in India and 600 in Pakistan. And out of these, 1500 sites, there are about, 6 very, very large sites which were most probably controlling the entire different zones of the Harappans. Of course, Mohenjo-daro is believed to be the largest one, which is controlling, which is believed to be the focal point of that entire urban phase of the Harappan civilization. But actually, what happens if you look at the old world civilizations among Mesopotamians, Egyptians, and South Asian or Harappans, the area of the Harappans is the largest one or the biggest one. This is the area where actually in South Asia we find early evidence of metal, like at sites like Mehergarh, Kilebul Muhammad, and there are many other sites which we generally call early Harappans or even a stage earlier, pre-Harappans. Or even a stage earlier, we have something called what we popularly call as Neolithic phase, bracketed in this part of the world, somewhere between 7,000 to 5,000 BC. This is stage one of Mehergarh, where in fact, the first evidence of metal appears at Mehergarh itself. So what you see here, a few sites which yielded, in fact, metal in the pre and early Harappan stage. Among these, Mehergarh is the one here within the circle where actually 7,000 years ago, during the first stage of settlement, that was a Neolithic settlement actually, when domestication was happening and people were settling down, and people were they started domestication of animals also. Right at that time, we have evidence of metal, a copper ring appeared. Then gradually in the further stages, metal started increasing. By 5000 BC, we have evidence of slag also. I mean, processing evidence is also available right at the side. Also, there is another site called Kilegul Muhammad in the same region, which also yielded very, very important evidence of the same material. Then here is a site called Jalilpur, where actually the first evidence of gold appeared in this Harappan universe. And then little down south you have Nal and Amri zone. In this Nal and Amri zone, we do find lots of processing of early stage of metal making. So now some of these sites you can read here, like Mehergarh, Kelegul Muhammad, Damsadat, Balakot, Gumla, Amri, Kot Diji, Dhalavira. Already you have had talk on Dhalavira by Bishji and Mitathal, Jalilpur. These are the some of the important pre-Harappan sites, pre and early Harappan sites. When I say pre-Harappans, the readers or the listeners or the young people should understand that, when I say pre-Harappan, that means older than 3200 BC, ranging up to 3800 BC. That is the bracket for pre-Harappans. When I say early Harappan, that means 3200 BC to 2600 BC. It is nothing like water compartment, but watertight compartment, but most of the dates are bracketed between, for early Harappan phase, 3200 to 2600 BC, and then that is followed by the urban phase. So you can see a comparative scene of the early stage sites here. Mehergarh, Kilegul Muhammad, Anjira, Damsadat, Nal, Rana Gundai, Jalilpur, Siadam, Pulli. All these sites, are those ones which have yielded early, metal, and most of them, are recorded between 7,000 to 2,500 BC. And these are the sites where we have stays of, early and pre-Harappan both. Not many have early Harappan, but pre-Harappan, most of them, yes. Well, this is just map to show the distribution of the Harappan sites. We have all this map shows early Harappan phase. Here this one, and this is for the basically urban phase, and this is for the early Harappan stage map, 32 or 3300 BC to 2600 BC. So in this early stage, as I already said, right in the first page, we have evidence of a copper ring from Mehergarh itself. That was the Neolithic stage for us. And then by 4 to 5000 BC, we have we know people in that area, this Kachchh plain area, knew silver. They already knew silver. They already knew nickel. They already knew gold also. So, and the evidence of smelting was also found. This is the copper ring that was actually discovered from Mehergarh stage 1, and you can see one copper ring here. It's also from that same stage. You can see a copper ring here. So these people were making beautiful pottery, polychrome pottery towards in the stage 3rd of Mehergarh, and they were, they had developed very large villages, different cultural groups, zones, which we know after them. Then they have beautiful pottery, something like this. They have, I'm sure most of the readers must have seen most of this pottery now. This is what is called black slip jar, which is mostly used for trade purpose. And things like this plate or dish, you can say, it has perforation. Some of us think that this may have been used as a gift material also. So beautiful pottery Harappans were using. And, if we talk about Harappans, there are 4 or 5 things which for which the Harappans are known. Typical pottery, their seals, their town planning, their beads, these are some certain things for which the Harappans are well known and they're unique. So now let us come down to the metal objects we come across. What is interesting is that I am asked by the Heritage Tamil Heritage Trust to talk on such an issue on Harappan metal. Actually, Harappans did not have metal industry. And I'm talking on the metal, Harappan metal. So it's a very, very difficult issue for me. on top of everything, I'm not basically a metallurgist, but despite that, I've taken this category. Anyway, now all the sites, I'm sure people are aware of it, like Dhalavira, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Rakhigadi. These are all large sites which have been undertaken for excavation, have yielded most of the actually metal objects. What you see here, there are copper knives. The copper knife has been hafted in a bone of object. So maybe, and then you can see copper arrowhead here, and more copper objects. Yes, then these are more copper objects. There are some bronzes also. Now, interesting part is that these copper arrowheads are quite identical to the one discovered from northern Rajasthan, northern part of the Aravalli, from the area called what we call as Ganeshwar cultures area. From that region, perhaps these copper was being supplied. I'll show you in the coming slides. I'll show you the Ganeshwar area also. So what you find different kinds of copper objects in a variety of sites where you have arrowheads, you have different kinds of sickles, you have spearheads, fish hooks, rods, etc., chisels, etc. What you find here again, similar kind of arrowheads and lots of variety of fish hooks, mostly or Ganeshwar types. They're coming from different Harappan sites basically, and this is from northern Rajasthan. These objects are from northern Rajasthan, a site called Baror, and then of course you have different kinds of utensils also from sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Bagasara, Dhalavira, Banavali. These are basically what you see here is a handi kind of pot, and this one is also. These two are basically you also find in cooking pots of terracotta pots of handis, similar pots. So they may have been used for cooking purpose. Then you have basins like this, and then some other objects, tumblers, etc. Also, you have this is a copper punch from Bagasara, and there are rings, and this is a mirror from Harappan burial. What we think that in most of the cases, the Harappan metal may have been recycled, except for mirror. Mirror generally we find from the burial, especially from the female burial. It is believed that the mirror was perhaps there was perhaps a notion that people could see a life after death in the mirror, therefore they did not recycle mirror. This is what is believed. There is no proof to it. But generally not recycled. Most of other objects we believe may have been recycled also. You have seals and you have tablets, copper tablets also. These are from Mohenjo-daro. This is a very famous, this is a very famous dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro, and there are other, similar objects that are made by lost wax process. So, and you also have animal figurines from 2-3 sites. Well, apart from copper, what you also find silver objects from number of sites like Alladino, like Kunal, you have silver objects. Silver tiara, what you find here on the forehead or head of this priest. A similar kind of object was discovered from Kunal. This is silver object basically, silver seed, foil kind of thing. And this is florid kind of object, also silver, and here are more beads. So from now you can see these Harappans were using beautiful jewelry, not only same precious stone, but also gold and other same precious material. So what happened, in most of the Harappan site, you do find gold. Of course, it may be in small quantity, but you come across very often gold objects from Harappan sites. Well, this is Alladino kind of material, and you can see in the terracotta figurines also similar kind of actually jewelry is visible. This is Aladino again silver and maybe some gold, more gold, wafer kinds of beads. What is interesting here is that, the Harappans had innovated a technique of gold soldering, which is not known, which we think that it is a European kind of technology which came to India. No, but the Harappans did that. What you find in these kinds of, this wafer kind of gold beads, you have gold soldering. So anywhere you go to the museums, wherever these beads are on display, you can see they had gold soldering. So this idea, this knowledge and technology of gold soldering was innovated by the Harappan. This is one contribution of the Harappans actually. Another one is uh, needle with eye. Another one is sickle. Somewhere we will see sickle also in the slides. So these were some of the contribution by the Harappans. Now you can see more gold objects here. They are mostly coming from Haryana. Here you have these, agate bull figures and with golden horns. And then you have these spirals here and one rod here. So small gold beads. So that means the Harappans were, they had acquaintance of gold sources. Now, if we look at the source, it is very difficult for us to locate the source at the moment because in literature generally it is said that Kolar gold mine may have been exploited, but we don't have any direct connection, or we don't have sites in between to reach to Kolar. But there is another way saying that Pipilika gold may have been used, which is coming down in River Sindh. But then now one small clue has come from the Aravallis is that from northern Rajasthan in the area of Ganeshwar or the northern margin of the Aravalli, from where Harappans actually obtained copper, gold content is also there. So this is one strong possibility that the Harappans were obtaining gold from northern part of the Aravalli. In southern margin of the Aravalli, in areas of Dungarpur, Banswara district, you have gold pans. Now the Geological Survey of India is working on those gold pans. So it is possible that the Harappans were obtaining gold from Aravalli, but northern part is, it is analyzed and it has been accepted that it is quite likely that the Harappans were obtaining gold along with copper from those areas. But from southern part, one has still to do a lot of studies, a lot of analysis has to be done. Well, more gold objects from Banavali and Purb Bhiwani sites, and then interestingly, there is a site called Mandi, very close to Haridwar, where a hoard was discovered accidentally a few years ago. You can see lots of silver and gold objects. It was few kg actually. Now it's in display in National Museum. And since DP Sarmaji is already there, I'm sure he would like to comment on it when he is giving presentation, because I think this hoard had arrived in the museum and he himself was working in National Museum. Then another hoard has been discovered very recently from Harinagar, Bijnor, UP, Uttar Pradesh again. Now, what is happening? Interestingly, you see, all these hoards, this is coming from an area which was on the marginal zone of the Harappans, where the Harappan settlements were not there then. But now all this, this new hoard of large number of pots identical to the Harappans. Like you can see lots of few goblets here, and other utensils also are quite identical like Harappans. So also this sickles ones. So why we do not know, why are we finding these hoards on the marginal zone of the Harappans, where actually there were no Harappan site then. But now we are finding these hoards, and these are accidental discoveries. So more of from the Bijnor Fort, Harinagar area. Now you can see now also they have bronze and they are made out of casting, and they were prepared by seats. So it's quite advanced technology. They knew they were alloying with lead, they are alloying with tin, and they are also alloying quite often with arsenic. So now you can see some of the drawings of this Mohenjo-daro and other Harappan sites, material discovered from other Harappan sites. Material you saw earlier, same material, you can see some line drawings of that. These are some arrowheads identical to the Ganeshwar types from Harappa. So Ganeshwar is believed to be a site from where this has been exported. And these are from Dholavira. Again, you can see similar kinds of arrowheads from Dholavira and bar cells also. So more of pins and arrowheads, rings, and different kinds of objects from Mohenjo-daro, basically. Now there is another site called Sonoli, which is in UP again, which was excavated initially by D.V. Sarmaji and later on by Manjulji from Archaeological Survey of India. Site has yielded again large number of gold and copper objects, including some anthropomorph kind of things like what you see in the picture here. It is the site of Sonoli doesn't fall in the urban phase bracket, but maybe slightly later towards the end of the Harappan sites, urban phase, the site may have emerged. But we only have burials from the site, not the habitation. And from the burials, these copper objects have been and gold objects have been discovered. Now, what is interesting is that when the Harappans were around, at the same time, towards the later half of the Harappans, or say around 2nd millennium BC, from many parts of northern India, including Ganga Valley, we have large number of copper hoard collections in many museums in northern India. So mostly they are discovered in Kachchh and in Haryana, UP, Bihar, MP, etc. And they include cells, harpoons, swords, rings, axes, anthropomorphic figures. And at some site, you also find certain kind of pottery, which is known as ochre-colored pottery. OCP, we normally say. So they're prepared by double mold and close casting of copper. Some objects were, cut and hammered from thick sheets of the metal. They're prepared by cold work and annealing, was used in the fabrication. And sometimes they were also alloyed with tin and arsenic. That means the people, those who were making these copper hoards, they were well equipped with the metal technology. Something like this. These are some of the copper hoard objects. They're in the display in many museums in northern India. But actually, National Museum also has a very large collection of these copper hoards. So also museums in Rajasthan and Haryana also. So this is from Narnaul, Haryana. These objects basically midrib swords and barbed harpoons, antenna swords, etc. This is an antenna swords. Exactly similar one was discovered from Sonoli. Oh, okay, this is from Sonoli. But then these are some of the anthropomorphic figures, antenna sword and barbed harpoon here. So this is picture from D.V. Sarmaji. Thank you, D.V. Sarmaji. I can see you in the picture. So yeah, okay, these are copper hoards actually from different sites, and they're very well published. Unfortunately, we don't find sites or cultural material where these copper hoards have been discovered. This is another hoard discovered from Daimabad, a site in Maharashtra, datable to 2nd millennium BC, which is a Chalcolithic or rural Chalcolithic site in Maharashtra, where from the surface of the mound, these large actually objects were discovered. So these are rhinos, bull figurines, and buffaloes, etc., chariots, etc., and all of them weigh about 100 kg. They're non-utilitarian kind of objects actually. And when we look at most of the people, they have proposed that these are Harappans one, but generally, you saw the Harappan objects now. So all the Harappan objects are utilitarian types, but these objects are non-utilitarian types actually. So of course they may have been used for some sort of purpose, animals. But looking at the objects, these ones are not utilitarian types. So therefore, it is a debate that whether they belong to the Harappans or not. Well, now I have to bring to your notice the area of Arauli, because this is the area which is one of the richest zone for yielding metal in India. So what you see in the picture, in the Aravalli, which is diagonal, reaching from Ambaji in Gujarat to Delhi, and what you see red and green and blue dots representing different metals. For example, red one belongs to iron, and green one belongs to copper, and wherever there is metal slag is blue one. So actually, the entire Aravalli is very well surveyed, mined by the ancient societies. It is more like a polymetallic zone where you have gold, you have copper, you have silver, you have lead, you have iron. So variety of metal is available within one zone itself. But in general, the northern part of Aravalli, in area of Sikar, Jhunjhunu districts, I mean the northeastern corner, this zone basically is quite rich in copper. But when you come to the central area, this is quite rich in lead. And when you are in southern part of Aravalli, this is rich in lead zinc. So, but iron you find almost everywhere. What is interesting is that in the Aravalli, the lower part of the Aravalli, the base is formed by Precambrian gneissic granites, and that is superimposed by the Aravalli formation, which has actually metals. And above the Aravallis, you have the Delhi group of rocks, which also have metal. So Delhi group of rocks are quite rich in copper in the northeastern part here, and they have been very well surveyed, mined, and people have way back from Bronze Age down to pre-modern times, they have been surveyed and worked. Actually, there was somebody called Captain Brook in 1864. He was, thanks to him, because he recorded how people were making metal, especially copper, in area of Ganeshwar, Singhana region. And I'll show you in one of the coming slides, a very, very large, massive heap of copper slag actually. So thanks to him, he recorded how people are mining in that area. Subsurface mining is happening, how people are sorting good quality of metal, and how the entire smelting process is going on. So this is one of the best ethnographic record of metal making in India. Had he not prepared that, had he not given the sketch of metal making, copper making, in fact, we would not have known how in ancient India actually copper was made. I'll show you in one of the pictures in the coming slides. But in this particular slide, what you see in northern part of Rajasthan, we have Harappans. Then we have the Ganeshwar people here, rural Chalcolithic people, contemporary to the Harappans, urban phase of the Harappans. And then in the down south, you have again called Ahad culture. And then again down south, you have in Gujarat, northern Gujarat, attached to the Aravallis, again Harappan. So these two rural Chalcolithic people, basically metal makers, actually metal producing people, are in the buffer zone for these to these Harappans. So they played very, very important role by supplying metal to the Harappans, in fact. So this is in southern Rajasthan. If you anytime you happen to southern Rajasthan, Udaipur, so this site which is visible in the screen is called Balathal, where these rural people outside the Harappan universe were able to create this kind of fortified enclosure. This is 4,300 years old. So these people had good interaction with the Harappans, and they were using extremely good quality of pottery. Some pottery types they innovated, and it was it is regional ware basically. This is all Harappan ceramic assemblies, what you see here in the picture. Well, so these now you can see these Ahad people. They were making copper and bronze objects and interacting with the Harappans, and some of the pottery types, Harappan pottery types, are also visible in the Ahad region. And some of the Ahad pottery types, particularly like black and red ware, white painted black and red ware, is also visible at number of Harappan sites in North Gujarat, in area of Kachchh, eastern Kachchh, also at Lotha. So these are some of the copper objects of these Ahad people, and quite similar to what you saw with the Harappans. So now these are the Ganeshwar copper objects, quite similar. You see, we saw the fish hooks earlier in the Harappan collection. quite similar ones here. And also the similar, arrowheads here. And cells, bar cells and smaller ones are quite similar also. So it is believed that these Ganeshwar people were supplying actually metal to the Harappan. Now these similar copper rings from a site called Binziasi, very close to Sikar, which is outside the Harappan universe, but very close to Ganeshwar itself. Recently, this accidental discovery has happened, and it is believed that they may have been supplied from Ganeshwar to the Harappan. They may be on the way, in fact. So you can see these gold, wafer type beads, etc. Also, along with that copper hold that they were discovered. Well, now what is happening in the Aravallis, when you are traveling in the Aravallis, you have situations something like this. Wherever you see all this, you can make sure that this is actually what geologists say, this they call Gosan. Actually, due to metal underground, this leaching out has happened, the oxidation has happened. So you can easily, try to survey this area. You will surely find some metal deposit underneath. It may even happen that you may have some ancient old working mine or old working or slag around. So this is good indication wherever you are traveling. This is quite common feature in the Aravalli. And across Aravalli, you have large number of open subsurface mines. So these are some of the open mines. What you see here is very close to Udaipur Wadi. There are 52 wells like this actually. At one place, they are basically mines, open mines, and in this particular mountain. And this copper mine is very close to Udaipur, and there are many open mines like this across Aravalli. And this is the actually what you can see, that this furnace by Captain Brook, 1864 furnace. So this copper, this is from Singhana, and this lady through bellows pumping air, and fuel would be given from top, and this is how copper was being smelted at Khedri and in Singhana area in northern Rajasthan. Well, we discovered some of the remains of furnaces in Ganeshwar area. You can see here a circular furnace. It is a 30 centimeter, height, and of equally, with equal diameter. And we have another similar, base of furnace here, and one ring of, you can see a circle of a furnace remains here. So the copper slag was sticking here. Therefore, we could identify this. And then, of course, there was a lot of slag around also. Therefore, we could identify these are all copper furnaces. And also, we have a fragment of a 2-year here. This may have been used as for blowing air to the furnace. So there are large, fragments of this kind of tools in most of the smelting sites. Interestingly, in that Ganeshwar area in the northern Rajasthan, in the districts of Sikar, Jhunjhunu, and Jaipur, all these 3 districts, you have 73 smelting sites, copper smelting sites. I'm saying out of these 73 smelting sites, about 20 sites have Ganeshwar pottery. I mean Ganeshwar culture pottery. So that means these 20 sites surely were under operation during the Ganeshwar culture or during the Harappans. So maybe there may be many more sites which may not, not necessary that every time you find pottery at the site, but these 73 sites which were, many of them may have been under the operation when they were supplying metal to the Harappans from this area. So what you can see, slag and tear fragments here, and this is the heap of slag, at Singhana. Singhana is a location to the north of Khedri. Now you can see there is settlement around. This is all copper slag, and from the same site you have Ganeshwar pottery too. So that means the copper smelting was under operation in this area since the Ganeshwar people, or since when they were supplying metal to the Harappans. So if you see old working of copper in Aravalli, Balochistan, and Afghanistan area. So these are these areas of sources for copper for the Harappans basically. When you see in Aravalli in Rajasthan, in Khedri, Singhana, Khudariba, Dilwara, Kiroli, Debari, etc. These are the locations where prominent locations from where possibly copper was, supplied to the Harappans. And then from Afghanistan, in Herat, Kabul, Logar, Farah, Ghor, etc. All these sites are visible on the screen. They were possibly supplying metal to the Harappans in areas of Balochistan, which is believed to be one of the prime zone for the Harappans. Right from beginning, when we saw the first bead at Mehergarh, it is possible that bead may have come or may have been made from in Balochistan area, because the area of Mehergarh is also located in the same zone. So Balochistan has many old workings sites where not only old working, but also they have mines. So then, of course, once we go to the west of that region, we also have many sites in Sistan, Mundigak, Sere Sokta. Then you have from where the metal has been discovered, or objects quite identical, similar to the Harappans, have been discovered. So the Harappans were, what happens wherever there are smelting sites, if we discover crucibles, that means people are not only smelting but also refining the metal. So crucible is indicator for that. And then we do have kilns, slag, ore, copper, prill, molds, anvils, hammer, chisel. These are the indicators at sites. When we find these, then we can surely indicate that, we can surely say that, of course, yes, processing has been done. Interesting part is that at sites like Harappa, where lots of copper prill was discarded, was thrown. So you can throw copper prill. Copper prill is basically metal only. So copper prill is, metal which is sticking on the inner core of the furnace or inner wall of the furnace. You can discard that much of metal once you have enough supply of the metal. So now where are the sources? The sources is Balochistan 1, Arauli 2, Oman 3. These are three major sources of copper for the Harappans. If copper was not that much available, they would not have thrown that much of prill at Harappa. So it is likely that major supplier was Arauli, because Harappa becomes closer to the Arauli rather than Oman. So at sites like Harappa, Lothal, Chanudado, you have bun-shaped circular and plano-convex ingots of copper. So, and after an analysis, it was realized that some such copper was also came from Oman. So, and that has pyrite ore. So, but the Harappans were using both pyrite and sulfide ores. So, how they were doing it? By casting, by molds, by lost pegs, they were doing it. They were doing fabrication. They were shaping it, forging it. They were spinning, turning, drawing, cutting, joining, finishing. All kinds of evidence is visible with the objects. So these are the techniques. Generally, open cast they were using, part mold they were using, lost pegs I have already said. These kind of techniques the Harappans were using to make material. So what we see in the total assemblies, about 70% Harappan objects are not alloyed. They are just copper objects, indicating scarcity of tin. Now, it is a problem in India. We do not know from where exactly tin came to the Harappans, because we have tin in Dhanbad, we have tin in Burma, and we have tin in Tosham now. Tosham is in Haryana, but we have yet to identify whether Tosham tin was really used. So if that was used, that would be the nearest source for the Harappans, because that is within the Harappan zone, and Tosham is in Hisar region. And then, of course, alloying became more common when the urban phase happened. During the pre-urban phase, we do not have that much alloying. And tin bronzes, they were mostly using for making knife, chisel, axes, etc. They have arsenic, nickel, lead alloyed. It's the percentage of these metals is less, basically. As I already said, of sulfide and pyrite, both kinds of ores they were using. And I don't need maybe to repeat this, because we have already seen these copper, gold, tin, lead, arsenic, bronzes they were using. And their sources were primarily for, if you look for lead, they were using Jammu, Kashmir area, they were using Balochistan area, they were using, and for copper, they were surely using other region like Arauli and Oman. And of course, then Balochistan was one of the prime source. For lead, silver, now some analysis for copper, lead, silver has also appeared now. Most of them are from Balochistan, Arauli, and area of Oman. So if you look at the Harappan trade, we also find metal within that, because metal also is mentioned in the Harappan trade, silver and lead. We do not know from where this was going. Interesting part is that now we know that the Arauli lead silver was being used by the Ahadians, and the Ahadians had contacts with the Harappans. So it is even possible that the Ahadians supplied lead and silver to the Harappans. So, but unless we do some analysis, we cannot claim it. We have yet to wait for it. Well, now this you can see, the area of the Harappans was known as Meluha to the people, and Oman as Magan, and closer to Mesopotamia was Dilmun. These three regions, among these three regions, basically, lots of interactive trade was happening. And I have already shown you the list of the trade material that was happening. And from Meluha, metal was also going. Also, metal was coming to Meluha. So both situations are available. Now, how this metal was going is an interesting area. We do not know if somebody is making metal at in areas of Arauli, for example. So the Harappans are not coming to the Arauli. Then how the metal is going? Interesting part is that, if we don't have camel, we don't have horse. Then how the metal was being transported? Who is taking away the metal to the Harappans? So my feeling is that perhaps the sheep was being used for this trade. Now, what you see here, this in the picture, these sheep are, these sheep are operating trade between India and Tibet or China for generations. They are carrying, 10 kg each sheep is carrying on their back. So this is basically grain they are carrying, but they can carry anything, on their back. So sheep is a very, very common animal that was reared for last 6,000-7,000 years in Rajasthan also. So it is possible that the sheep was being used for this trade. So what I conclude here is that the Harappans had no metal industry, because it is interesting to mention here that out of their 1,500 known sites, not even a single, I repeat, not even a single has concrete evidence of smelting copper at commercial scale. Yes, I say they were melting. Melting and smelting has a difference. Melting is purifying, and in that case, your slag would be very small quantity, and size would also be very small. But if you are smelting it, then of course you will have truckload of slag. That is not there. So also the gold soldering I have already told you. So see, that means the Harappans were not smelting copper. They were importing copper from their neighboring zones, wherever it was being worked by the rural Chalcolithic people. They were importing it. Maybe in lieu, they were giving something else, or it was technological exchange also. So gold soldering, I already told. Bronze production, that was made by the Harappans. Of course, initially it was not, but when the urban phase came, during that period only, we find lots of alloying process. The alloying was learned during Nal and Amri phase, during the early Harappan, but then it became common during the urban phase only. So, and use of arsenic, they knew where to use arsenic and when, because arsenic is poisonous. So they purposefully used arsenic at certain places or in certain objects. So we have yet to clearly work out what important role metal played for the urbanization of the Harappans. So this is something very, very important issue which we need to address in near future, of course. And if you look at the Harappans, they were incredible people, and we can compare them very well with the first world people today. So maybe I think I have to say thank you very much here, and I would love to accept questions and suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Can you please stop the sharing so that we can have a Yes, this is quite interesting. There are quite a few questions, of course, in the channel, but I will also add some of our own questions. So basically, what I understand is that you define. I'm not saying you, the entire, the academia. You define Harappans based on a whole bunch of features. So if you, in your excavations, you should find beads, pottery, etc. And if they are not there, but only metal, smelting regions, etc., they are not technically Harappans, even though they are in the same time frame. They are just other people who primarily only have a trading relationship. Am I understanding that part correctly?
Yeah, they may have trading relations, but I think we all believe that they were learning something from each other, because what we find is a kind of pottery type we have in Aravalli is called reserve slipware, which is the technology which is lost now. So the reserve slip also appeared in many Harappan sites in Gujarat and other places. So also Haryana, but initially it was not known. But interestingly, the reserve slip appears in the Harappan area only during the urban phase. On the other hand, in this rural area of Aravalli, where the Ganeshwar and Ahad rural people are, the date for the reserve slip is almost 700 to 800 years older than the Harappans. So it is believed that the idea or technology of the reserve slipware was learned by the Harappans from these rural people. And also there are certain kind of pottery which is found in these, with these rural people, or is of Harappan vintage. So therefore it is possible that, there were certain cultural links also, just not trade.
No, I agree. I mean, there has to be cultural seepage on either side. Linguistic, which we have no idea. I'm sure they would have borrowed loan words, grammatical structures, etc. They would have exchanged possibly religious ideas, idea about the philosophical ideas. I don't know, but from a material culture point of view, what material is available? You're saying largely the metal smelting is in the outskirts in multiple places where you have evidence, and the Harappans pre-Harappa phase and also the mature Harappan phase, they have been buying these or sourcing this material, and they have fashioned all the things. You have showed a whole bunch of arrowheads, fish hooks, bowls, pots, a variety of items, right? Uh, but sir, you also mentioned one specific thing: the utilitarian, non-utilitarian. But we have also found the terracotta, that bulls and little, the vehicle part in terracotta, which is considered as Harappan. So the metal part, when you showed some of the samples, why, I don't understand that, the time, the date line, location, etc., whether they actually place it as part of Harappan, but it is just as non-utilitarian as the other terracotta piece, right?
Yeah, but in case of terracotta or stone, you do find non-utilitarian kind of things with in the Harappan universe. But as far as metal is concerned, since metal was not
Okay.
available,
Okay, yeah.
so for metal they did not create anything which was non-utilitarian. So for that reason, the evidence of Daimabad, I showed you 4, 5, 100
Yeah,
kg
yeah.
weight, icons. Therefore, they are they are a doubtful case that they belong to the Harappans.
So,
Okay.
but if you have a new excavation, how do you know whether it's Harappan or not Harappan?
No, because
Are there any broad markers or only dating and all that?
no. Whatever material you find from any site, the context is very important for us, because if you are finding an object with Harappan pottery from the Harappan level, so of course it is not watertight, but your stratigraphy is always is helping to your context is very, very important, and then from the context you can date it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the question that I asked, two of the viewers have asked similar questions. So there is Achala Nayak who is asking, why are the Ahar and Ganeshwar cultures not addressed as Harappan if they existed at the same time? That's one. And another question from Raja Parthasarathi, considering the large scale metal trade with other parts of the Harappan region, is it wise to treat IBC as an independent area?
What is the IBC? What is that?
Indus Valley Civilization.
Okay. Can you then repeat the later half of the question?
No,
Last
what
sentence
I'm
of the
saying
question.
is, considering the large scale metal trade with other parts of the Harappan region, is it wise to treat the entire Indus region as an independent area?
Okay, let me address the first part. See, when we say Ahar or Ganeshwar culture, you see, actually for us, pottery is ABC of any culture. So that is the identity of those people. That pottery is entirely different than what you see with the Harappans. This is one basic thing. Two, Harappans, as I said, there are 4 or 5 things which are, identity of the Harappans. You have seals, you have quite certain kind of pottery, you have, their planning of their settlement. Actually, all these things, whether it is seal, whether it is their town planning, whether all these reflect the ideology of the Harappans. That is missing from these rural cultures.
Okay.
Therefore, they are separate.
Okay.
Okay, this is one. Two, now the Harappans, they're why I say they're mastermind, they're mighty people, because they are exploiting all around areas. I strongly believe they are able to exploit, they are able to have their settlement, their trade up to Mesopotamia, in Oman. They were able to exploit Aravallis. They were able to exploit, many other regions all around. So culture is never isolated. So they were hunting everything all around, and for prosperity of their own region, they were doing their best, the way the Americans are doing. So they cannot be isolated.
Okay. Okay. So there's a question from M.V. Bhaskar. Any wax remains found as part of the lost wax debris or independently otherwise? Or to add a further question from me, will it even survive this longer period as wax alone to even be fought out?
So unfortunately, no. We haven't found any, evidence of wax so far. But some of the icons, some of the objects, they're made by, through experiment, it was realized that they were made by lost wax.
Okay. Only by looking at, this is how it should have been made. Okay. There is a question from Sridhar Ganapati. Is it that the major extraction of copper metal is from native copper than from its ore chalcopyrite?
No. In India, unfortunately, we do not have, from the Harappan collection assemblage, we do not have even a single object coming from native copper. Native copper was used by many Bronze Age people in other parts of the world, but in Harappan or Chalcolithic context, we do not have even a single object coming from native copper.
Okay. Fine. There's a question from Manuel Joseph. There's few scholars, including you here, mention about zinc as a metal being used for alloying. Is it really possible that the metal was segregated and then used in the alloy, or it was present in the ore, copper ore itself, and simply came in as an impurity?
Actually, what happens, when you have zinc present in any object, like Lothal has presence of small amount of zinc. Even Kalibanga has an object. What happens if the percentage is less than 4? So that's unintentional. It's a kind of impurity that is present within the ore. If the percentage is more than 4, then you can say this is intentional exploitation of the ore.
Okay. Okay.
But the question is still more important because he is asking or she is asking. I don't remember.
I think
That
it's
separation was possible. See, zinc is a volatile metal. It is very difficult to handle, and since it is a volatile metal, difficult to handle, therefore its history is very short. And zinc was not known to the Harappans. We don't have any evidence. The earliest evidence of zinc, pure zinc, comes from Takshashila, 3rd century BC, or actually 4th century BC, prior to the arrival of the Romans in there. There is a vase which measured 35.35% zinc in that,
okay.
in a brass one. Zinc is primarily used for making brass in the ancient world, but zinc, separation of zinc was very, very difficult. And in whole of South Asia, we have only one site called Jawar, very close to Udaipur, where zinc was extracted. Pure zinc was made on commercial scale. If you
And
have
what period are we talking about, sir?
that was the commercial scale happened 1200 AD to 1900 AD.
That's a very
just 800 years ago. But of course, the evidence of zinc goes back to 3rd century BC. As I said, from Takshila, there are other sites also where zinc has been found. But evidence of commercial scale production is only 800 years old.
Okay. Sir, in terms of the various pictures that you showed, we particularly the later phase, or in and around the Haryana, Uttar Pradesh region, where they had skillfully included gold with the other material, like the agate
Yes.
bull that you showed, where only the horns were either touched or made in gold and then inserted. Now, is that are you taking those as Harappan material, or a border some related other cultures material?
No. That's all. I showed you everything Harappan. There was nothing later.
Okay. So that comes from a.
That's it. It's all Haryana material that is in the collection of Haryana State Archaeology. It is their copyright.
Okay. No. What I wanted to understand was whether that came along with other Harappan
From
and
Harappan.
the standard set of material. Okay. So that is quite amazing. The kind of
skill they have.
Though they were not mining and processing metal, they had achieved, as you showed earlier, the gold soldering capability.
Yeah.
I just wanted to suggest to you that when you are saying you're making students to understand how to see a museum. When you please do suggest them, when they go to the museum, when they are seeing any Harappan object like gold object, they should see the soldering also.
So which means basically flip it around, see the back, see how that we should we do have a collection in Chennai Museum, but I don't think we have metal objects here. But maybe after the talk, the next talk that we are waiting for, we should probably take a lot of people to a museum which has got a huge amount of the metal objects. But the kind of chains, the gold chains that you showed, they were unbelievable in terms of
those wafer beads.
Yeah.
That's in in National Museum collection, and luckily, and some of the material is lost. Not everything came, because that was an accidental discovery, and by the time Archaeological Survey of India experts reached there, some of the material was already stolen, lost. But thanks to them, they were able to recover quite a lot.
Okay. So now a little bit about the comparison, right? The similar time period and a comparable culture like Mesopotamian and Egyptian. Now, we can certainly see that in the Egyptian civilization, metal was quite a bit used both in ornaments and the mummification, the foils inlaid. It's a very, very elaborate, particularly gold and so much was used. In terms of tools and other utilitarian items, How do you compare Harappan with Mesopotamian and Egyptian?
Actually, I would say unfortunately the Harappan did not have that much of supply of metal. Despite having small amount, they had achieved the high technological level to handle the metal. This is one thing. If you look at the Egyptians and Mesopotamians, their tombs burials were being looted by the Italians and Europeans. See, there was somebody called Belgiani who used to loot the burials for the metal only, and then would inscribe on a stone Belgiani. You know, one would clearly understand that that burial has been looted simply for the metal or jewelry. So if you look at the technology, they were surely very well equipped. They did excellent job, both Mesopotamians and Egyptians. What we say about the Harappans, despite having very small amount of metal, they did skill so well, and they had their own, technique for making their jewelry and other objects. And for that matter, I would appreciate Harappans because they were going to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamians were not coming here. They were
Right.
selling their jewelry to the Mesopotamians. They were not coming here. So they were able to raise the settlements at Ras Al Junaid in Oman and about 5-6 other sites. Also, they had a small colony in southern Mesopotamia. So they were quite enterprising people. The Mesopotamians or Egyptians did not come to Lothal or other parts of India. The Harappans were going. So
Right.
they could go, they could sell their material. Therefore, I was saying that you can compare them with the first world people today.
Interesting, sir.
So
Very
you
interesting.
said they were getting copper from Oman, Aravali, and
Yes, yes,
various
yes.
places too.
From
At
Oman,
these
yes.
places,
Oman
you can
copper.
date. Yeah,
No, no,
can you
Oman.
date to see from where the copper has come?
Pardon, can you repeat the question?
Can you date to see where this copper is coming from?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I mean, how can you identify?
This work has been very well published by Randall Law and Mark Kenoyer. Randall Law is a student of Mark Kenoyer. He's a wonderful scholar of archaeology. He has done wonderful work. You can see his book in my hand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that metal was coming in what Mark Kenoyer says, Harappa 3B and 3C. During that period, metal was coming from Oman, and that also reached to Harappa also.
Okay. So there's one question from Vincent Aubert. I think, with due respect, how can someone master something that is lacking in supply? Where and how did they learn it? What is the progression of skill? Or is it just basic human evolution?
I don't think basic human evolution, but I think that there is a long history of metal, as I said, from Beargar period 1, 6,500 to 7,000 BC. So at different early Harappan side, pre-Harappan side, metal started appearing. People in Balochistan and different other areas, they already started exploiting metal. And gradually, there may be small group of people here and there. They must be excelling this metal technology. And later on, when the larger settlement came up, early Harappan phase came up. Maybe right from that time, Arawalis were exploited, and Balochistan was already under exploitation. Maybe by the time of urban phase, as I said, from Harappa 3B, 3C, Oman metal started coming. So it was gradual development of technology. They excelled.
Okay.
So Harappans are incredible people because they did not accept anything as it is. They always, translated, changed it.
Innovated and
Whether it was
modified it
metal,
for their
whether it
own
was
cultural
stone,
taste.
anything.
Okay. There's one more question from Nishad. Was there evidence of gold or copper plating? As in, I don't know whether it can't be electrolysis, which is a very, very late
No,
thing.
absolutely, I have no idea. I'm really sorry. I'm not able to answer this.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any such evidence of this kind.
At best, what would happen is a very, very thin foil, which is
Yes,
put on
silver
top
foils
of.
and silver foil kind, very thin silver sheet, very thin one. They're there. They have survived. But gold, I don't know. But if you see the wafer type beads I showed you, they're quite thin, quite thin.
Sir, in terms of purity, was the gold used 24 karat, 22 karat like that?
I have those wafer type beads in my department. Whoever comes to my department, I make them handle it, feel it. And I say, okay, you have to pay some money to handle, you are handling 24 karat gold.
Okay. But you have tested it in terms of what
I haven't tested it, but you see, that time that I don't think it was mixed. It must be pure one.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it.
Okay.
But sir, even those days, you think gold was considered more precious than copper? Because after all, everything was in short supply for them. So
I think it was, of course, if you start reading the history of metals, it was a time in middle of 3rd millennium BC when iron was far more costly than gold in area of Syria. But then soon, gold became much more precious than other metals.
Correct. No, I think the whole game changes the moment iron enters the usage, and its abundance and its hardness, and while its cost probably would have kept increasing, it would have started falling the moment large amount of mining and processing
Its
started
availability is much more. Its availability is much more across the world, actually.
Correct.
In India, you see, you have so much of iron, but you have less copper, you have very little gold.
Almost nothing in terms of gold.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. I think there is so much. You kept saying that you are not a metallurgist. I mean, you are an archaeologist, but you have given us so much in terms of an understanding of the metal usage in that particular period and across the entire region. And it has given us a fair amount of insight. Thank you for your.
Thank you so much. Actually, I would love to dedicate this presentation, if possible, to my mentor, Professor D.P. Agrawal, who is a metallurgist.
Okay.
Because of him, I whatever about metallurgy I could learn, I learned, and because of him, I worked on zinc, and I was very fortunate to work with him for so many, almost 20 years or more. So because of that, I picked up little here and there about metal. But thank you very much for trusting me. And I don't know.
No, sir, thank you so much.
It has been
we should tell the viewers that Dr. Khak, he lost his laptop and the entire presentation, and he has put it together afresh for just us over the last week. So a special thank you for that, sir. Thank you so much.
For that reason, I have to thank Kisorji for downloading my pictures and sending me so that I can use for my slides.
And your student for loading the laptop to you, his laptop to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was
Thank
wonderful.
you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
If this presentation is available, I can share with my students also.
Yeah.
If it will be available.
Yes, sir. The entire video is available. We will give you the URL that you can share with your students, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Gauri, over to you to introduce the next speaker so we can go on to the next lecture.
Now, moving on to the second talk today, we have Dr. D.P. Sharma talking about Harappan art with special reference to the National Museum collection. Dr. D.P. Sharma, with his extensive experience with the National Museum, will be talking about the Harappan art with special reference to the collection that is currently available there. Dr. D.P. Sharma is an archaeologist, museologist, and art historian. Beginning his career in 1980 to 85, as Antiquities Registering Officer at Allahabad and Varanasi regions, in 1983-84, he was awarded a Commonwealth Scholarship for doing his MA Archaeology from the Institute of Archaeology, University of London. At that time, he worked on excavations at Sussex and Pinsonvent under Dr. Mark Newcomer and Professor Gorham. From 1985 to 2005, he worked as head of the Harappan and Prehistoric Collection of the National Museum, New Delhi. In 2005, he became Associate Professor and HOD Museology in National Museum Institute, which is a deemed university. Honored as a senior academic fellow by ICHR New Delhi, Dr. Sharma is currently working as coordinator of a project on roots of symbols in Sindhu Saraswati art under IGNCA. He is also a visiting professor of archaeology in Amity University and several other universities in India. Dr. Sharma has written 101 books and published 281 papers. Some of his more popular books are Panorama of Harappan Civilization, Early Harappan and Indian Indus-Saraswati Civilization, Volume 1 and 2, Harappan Art, Glimpses of Harappan Civilization, Prehistoric Art and Archaeology, Volume 1, Harappan Script on its way to decipherment, Harappan Science and Metal Technology, Lost Saraswat Civilization, etc. It is also worth mentioning that this presentation was created by Dr. Sharma along with his late wife, Srimati Madhuri Sharma. Srimati Madhuri Sharma was also an archaeologist and was part of the excavations at Nagpur and Madhya Pradesh. A special thank you to her and in memory of her. We welcome you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gauri, Dr. Badri, and Jeewan, and the Kishore Mahadevan. I was in the National Museum for more than. क्या हो गया?
चलिए आप बोलिए.
मैं?
नहीं कुछ नहीं सर बात कीजिए सुनाई दे रहा है.
I was in the National Museum as a head of the Harappan collection for more than 22 years. And earlier, when I joined, the material which we were having in the National Museum, these were only from Harappan, Mohenjo-daro, and Lothar. Then in 2000, when our new government came around 2000, then we decided to renovate our gallery, and I set up new gallery in 2001 and 2000. And Professor B.B. Lal was chairperson for this gallery, and our Director General was a member secretary. DGSI was also head of all this project. And this, all the archaeologists from archaeology, this was joint gallery with the Archaeological Survey of India and National Museum, and even based on Namrendra Nath and all the other people, Rawalji, Present Director General, and Noriyalji, they were with us. So, I will mention one name, Madam Komal Anand, she was Director General of Archaeological Survey. She forced the people of Archaeological Survey, surveying archaeologists and the people to bring the material, and we brought some material from newly excavated sites, which were excavated during the last 25 years in India. And we could not get Pakistan new material, but Indian material we got. Before I begin on the sites, I will tell you that long back, around 2000, when the Gracie Posel published his book, at that time we were having some 2,700 Harappan and Harappan associated sites in India, in which some 200 were excavated. Now we have some 4,050 Harappan and Harappan associated sites in India and Pakistan, and we have excavated around more than 200 sites. So now new things which we are getting in the Harappan material, that just now Kharakwal ji said that Harappan are very well in the Aravali region, and there is one site near Udaipur, Maharana Pratap airport site. There are also some Harappan material, copper hood. So some of the sites which have fusion the Harappan and like copper hood, ochre colored pottery, and har culture, they are also included. So total number is 4,050 sites, and now we are getting Harappan material and Harappan site now across the Harappa, and then Altin Depe in Turkmenistan, Surtagai in Afghanistan, and its eastern limit up to a place Sanoli and Tappal in the border of the Delhi, and some late Harappan sites were also discovered in Delhi region. So we are, now you see that this map, Ganur Depe is north where Harappan ivory traders were camping there. Ur is a site in Mesopotamia where our traders were having colony. More than 50
Sir, sorry.
Harappan type skills.
Dr.
but
Sharma,
suffered.
sorry to interrupt you. Can you please request your assistant to put the presentation in slideshow mode?
Slides.
At the bottom, sorry to interrupt you. So at the bottom, next to that, minus plus, yeah, the one,
Next
couple
to
of
that,
things
right,
later.
right,
The next
right,
one and the
right,
next.
right, next,
Next.
right, sir. Next to the book on the right. No, next, right.
Next.
No, sir, right.
Or you can press F5.
Or you can go to the top and click slideshow. So that's it.
One person gives
To
it.
the Ganur Dipe is sites where Harappan ivory traders were camping. Then Tappal is a site in Gautam Buddha Nagar, Noida. There we got all Harappan. Then Sanoli, where we have a Harappan copper ore and the OCP fusion is recorded. Rakhigari, Khanak, and Binjor and Kalibangan. These are the other sites in the India, Dholavira, then Khiresra in the Kachchh region. So we are excavating sites in the larger scale. Rakigari is being excavated in larger scale during last few years, and still excavation is going on. Sanoli and other places, the Binjor is still going on. So now we are getting material, art object from the Indian side, because now we are excavating the site on the larger. Next, please. Next, please.
So 1 minute, sir. Can you just go to the top?
Gauri.
Let
me do that. See, you have, sir, you have already opened the slideshow. You'll have to click on that resume slideshow button at the top. Now, at the top, you have a small window that. Yeah, click on that again, please. Yeah, that's no, down there. Yeah, click again.
Niche.
What happens? You are not able to see the full screen. Can you do the, can you keep switching tab, because the whole thing must be appearing in a full screen. So at the top, there is a.
Yes, it is okay. Let us continue.
No, we are on the screen. We are unable to see the full screen mode.
Yes, this is second slide. So here you see the slide where you are seeing.
Yeah, we are only able to see part screen. अरविंद जी, इस विंडो को मिनिमाइज कीजिए. आपका स्लाइड शो और कहीं चल रहा है. वो रिज्यूम स्लाइड शो बटन ना ऊपर उस बटन को दबाइए. फिर एक बार.
Yes, sir. Please share once again.
हाँ, स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए और स्लाइड शो मोड दबाइए.
So
रुक जाइए सर, 1 मिनट.
अरविंद जी, आप शेयर कर रहे हैं स्क्रीन?
हाँ, शेयर कर रहा हूँ.
अब दोबारा शेयर कीजिए.
हाँ, ठीक है.
हाँ, और स्लाइड शो बटन है ना राइट साइड बॉटम में.
Even at the top there is a.
हाँ, उस बटन दबाइए आप.
Yes. Here you see the.
नहीं. It is still not coming.
नहीं नहीं, आप ऊपर जाइए और resume slideshow को दबाइए।
ऊपर resume slideshow एक बटन है ना, ऊपर ऊपर ऊपर,
हाँ उधर लेफ्ट में, हाँ
लेफ्ट, उसके उसके ऊपर resume slideshow, हाँ उस बटन दबाइए आप। इस विंडो को मिनिमाइज कीजिए।
No, that won't work.
Okay.
Vishal.
नहीं ठीक है, leave it.
He has to go to the.
हाँ
Yeah, the second.
हाँ
Sir,
वहाँ पे
when you
माउस क्लिक
click,
कीजिए।
you have to go to this. That is a slideshow window is what you have to go to. No, he has to share that. Or he has to go and do a share full screen.
हाँ ठीक है, now I think almost over.
Display settings.
So these are some material
ऊपर
which
डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स, अरविंद जी ऊपर वो डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स है ना, ऊपर सेकंड फ्रॉम लेफ्ट, डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स
ऊपर, यहाँ
ऊपर डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स है ना ऊपर, उसके लेफ्ट में डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स,
उसके लेफ्ट में,
लेफ्ट जाइए, लेफ्ट
आप जहाँ पे हैं उससे थोड़ा लेफ्ट जाइए तो डिस्प्ले सेटिंग्स है ना बीच में, टॉप में 3 है ना, उसमें बीच वाला। नहीं ऊपर जाइए आप, एकदम ऊपर, हाँ वहाँ पीछे
ऊपर
उधर, हाँ उधर,
डिस्प्ले से क्लिक कीजिए,
हाँ उसको क्लिक कीजिए।
डुप्लीकेट स्लाइड शो, दूसरा वाला
okay.
Thank you.
Here you see some of the pictures which we got from archaeological survey and other state department, and now some of are still on display in the National Museum. These are all from new excavation. The gold necklace, typical from Khiresara, excavated by Mr. Nath from archaeological survey. Then on top you see the double-headed terracotta, inscribed terracotta from Kalibangal. Then Nandipat from Banavali and Kalibangal, and the Shivalinga. And below one, but just now, from Haryana. Then Shahi tomb weight made of zinc, made of lead and copper. Then priest from Dharavira. Then animal-headed terracotta. Then another ritual, Yagikund from Binjor. This is 3000 BC. Then anthropomorphic figure which has the Harappan and the script and the Brahmi script and the Harappan uniform. Then Kunal incense burner type thing where we have ivory decoration. Then Pashupati Shiva from Varor and Mandi material. Then other, I can go in detail, and here next slide please. Here I want to say we have some 2,500 sites in the dry bank of the river Saraswati, and around some 1,000 sites in the Indus region, and some other sites, some 700 in the other periphery region of the Indus Valley civilization. So the large number of sites are in the Saraswati basin, Haryana, Rajasthan, and then Cholistan in Pakistan. So now the people are calling it Indus Saraswati civilization, but Harappa was first discovered long back. So Harappan civilization is the correct name, because this won't confuse anybody. So Harappan civilization, we named the Harappan civilization. At that time, we were having a Janta government. We were having a pressure that you please name the Saraswati civilization, but we prefer the Harappan civilization. And this is still going on. The name is still going on. Another thing which I want to tell you that today you are in 2024 December, Marshall first time disclosed the Harappan existence of Harappan civilization, but the excavation at the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were continued since from 1920 onward. So Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are not first excavated site. Before that, in 1917-18, Leo Pio Tellisteri, Italian gentleman who was superintending archaeology in Archaeological Survey Western Branch, he excavated Kalibangan and he got some material of the early Harappan and mature. So first excavation was in 1917 and 18 at Kalibangan by Leo Pio Tellisteri. Next is. Here you see the Saraswati in the, this is in India, Jaisalmer area, then Cholistan. So we have large numbers of 400 sites in Pakistan in the Saraswati region. Saraswati was a major river, and this was coming from this Shimla, this Himachal, then Haryana, then flowing through the Rajasthan, and finally joining the Cholistan in Pakistan, and then it was flowing parallel to the Indus, and then it was coming in the run of Kachchh and joining the Arabian Sea somewhere in the Desalpur. Desalpur is excavated Harappan site. So these are the sites, and now next read. These are the people who excavated, and I am only showing the people who excavated and published the excavation report. Leo Pio Tellisteri, the first gentleman, and then John Marshall, under whom these Mohenjo-daro Harappa were excavated. And he purposely did not publish the report of the Leo Pio Tellisteri when he completed his Mohenjo-daro Harappa, and then he said this disclosed in Burlington magazine discovery of the Harappa. Then V.B. Lal and Jagat Pet Joshi, they jointly excavated Kalibangan in 1960 onward. Dhaulik, the Deccan College director, he excavated Kadri. Then K.N. Dikshit, who excavated, then Indian-born Kanmer archaeologist in California, he excavated some Harappan site in Pakistan. Our Bhistji excavated Banavali and Dholavira. Mariji is still excavating Kunal, a Harappan site. And at the Chindeji is excavating this Rahigali, and earlier he excavated Kadri. So, beside this, some other new publication came by Pramod Trivedi, Tharkanwala Dhera, another publication came on the Harappan. Amren Nath also published the Rakhigadi. Next, please. These are some pre-Harappan and mature Harappan terracotta from the various sites, and here you see the first left-hand side, you see the terracotta symbolic mother goddess, some phallus shape from some of the phallus shape, some of the walnut symbol type from Mehergarh and Shri Khan Tarkai. Shri Khan Tarkai was excavated by a gentleman, Petri, who came yesterday and delivered a lecture. So this walrus symbol we also get on the rock art. The top one you see this is from Chhattisgarh area. So in the Mehergarh we got this thing, is the oldest, and then this walrus symbol is a universal symbol. I will discuss in the detail. Then you see this Namaskar and yoga, and then recently one new thing came in the research of the Sherry Clark, this from America. She said the terracotta, especially the male and female terracotta from Harappan sites, they were made in two parts and they were joined together. She did some X-ray analysis and confirmed some terracotta were made in the two parts and then joined together. Charge mein laga diga.
So you may have to put it on charge.
Yeah, please. Yeah, so these on top you see some one terracotta seated Pashupati discovered from excavation at Barod. Then another yellow color, mother goddess from Dholavira. So these are the things which we are showing you. Next, please. Here you see the uni shape, symbolic or marble shape mother goddess from Sri Kantarkai, and triangular shape mother goddess from Upper Pacific side in the Belan Valley and the some other sites in central India. So this mother goddess, and you see the Valva symbol in the rock painting also in India. This Valva symbol depiction we get in the pre-Harappan period as well in the other side of the world. So this is universal symbol. And next, please. You see in the rock painting in the Chhattisgarh and the Maharashtra, you see the Valva symbol, and later on these all things In the early historic period, in first, second century, this developed as the in the mode iconography, and we call it Lajja Gauri worship. So Lajja Gauri has a roots in the early Harappan and the prehistoric period, and this is universal. Wall symbol worship is universal symbol. Next, please. This is still Kamakya in Assam. This Lajja Gauri worship, roots of the Lajja Gauri exist in the early Harappan period, and the roots of Indian art are very well. This I will go in the detail next slide. Then you see these are the early Harappan terracotta, mostly from Mehergarh. Below one is from Masoodpur, exhibited by Petri and RN Singh from VHU. We were having a joint expedition in the Haryana, and Petri and RN Singh exhibited more than 12 sites. And then you see the vermilion sindoor in the middle of the woman head. This is from the Naushero and also from Mehergarh. Here you see that in Mehergarh, eyes are made by the holes. This is typical characteristic of the early Harappan terracotta, and the breasts are full round. This is, style of the, and these are handmade. No mold is used. Next, please. These are more terracotta from the Mehergarh and the Naushero. So this is early Harappan. So early Harappan terracotta are different in style. Next, please. These are the mature Harappan terracotta. On top, Banavali exhibited by West, and female grinding the grain from India, Harappa and Naushero. And then below, Puli Mehi, some polychrome mother goddess. Here you see the eyes are not like that hole type as we noticed in the early Harappan phase. Here, breasts were made by the conical pellets. In the mature Harappan also, we are dating around now. We are dating 3000 to 2000 BC, and the terracotta are mostly handmade. Next, please. But here you see the detail of some terracotta from Harappa. We are published by Sherry Clark and also by me in my book. Here you see the X-ray confirm that these were made in the two parts, then joined together. Many human figures were made like this. Many other terracotta. These are new things which was confirmed by the X-ray analysis done by the Sherry Clark. Next, please. Here you see this is a very interesting pregnant animal-headed mother goddess from Mohenjo-daro in the National Museum collection. This is a two view of the same. Then yellow color is another in the Pakistan collection, Karachi Museum. Then this type of view, very interesting. You see the hands were attached in this terracotta. Hands. This is attachment of the hands is a very interesting thing, and this they were knowing in the Indus Valley. So then this type of technology developed in the Greek art around some 3rd, 4th century BC. But we were having this in 3000 to 2000 BC. Then you see the right hand side, there is a male torso from Harappa. People say this is a male torso. Some Jain people say this is Jain Adinath. Here also you see the attachment of the hand. So these style is very interesting, which we get in the Harappan, mature Harappan. Next, please. Here you see the overburdened decoration and pinching application. Whom we will call mother goddess, whom we will call female figure. Over-decorated female figure, which were discovered, few were discovered from the worship place, and some lamp type thing is on top. These we can call corner one, red one, mother goddess, and then middle one also mother goddess. This is in our collection, Mohenjo-daro, and then other from the Harappa in the National Museum. So other female figure without decoration, we can call this a female. So this is controversy. Whom we call mother goddess, whom we call female figure. Next, please. You see the pot belly mother goddess with the babies, and then these were made in the two part, then joined together. Then here in the below there is a terracotta tablet depicting a female killing the buffalo, and you see the sketch. And then backside there is a human figure fighting with the two lions, and the below elephant is there, and on top you see the 6 spokes chakra is there. So there is a controversy that Harappan were not knowing the spokes wheel, but here you see the wheel with the 6 spokes from Harappa. Next, please. Yoga was a very important thing. You see, this is from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, mostly in the National Museum and the Karachi Museum. Some other exercise terracotta. These are all handmade pinching appliques method. Next, please. And the yoga continued. This is the new discovery from Baror, where seated yogic posture terracotta discovered by from Baror. This is also with us in the Nature Museum. Then seated yogi from Baladhar 1000 BC. Yogic tradition continue even the post Chalcolithic Iron Age. And you see the Mohenjo-daro seated yogic figure and the Dholavira yogic figure. Then Jain Tirthankar at Sarnath. This is the Kushan period. So, what yoga or the yoga posture adopted by the Buddhists and the Jain monks, their roots are very well present in the Bronze Age Harappan civilization, and this show the continuity Sanatan tradition from the pre-Harappan period to the mature Harappan, then Chalcolithic Iron Age. This Baladhali is around, say, some 1000 plus minus BC. Next, please. This is Gunor Depe, this Danish French who did a lecture yesterday in your, seminar. He excavated this. Gunor Depe is a site in, Turkmenistan. Here you see the on top Gunur Depe, and below you see the Mohenjo-daro stone images. On top you see the lower portion of the priest, you see the priest, and the ram from Gunur Depe, ram from Mohenjo-daro. See the similarity with the stone images of two regions, Gunur Depe and Mohenjo-daro. This was dated, Gunur Depe is dated 2900 2000 BC, and our Mohenjo-daro is 3000 to 2000 BC. So they were having a ivory traders colony at Gunur Depe, and the ivory traders were there in the Gunur Depe, and Gunur Depe now I say they are saying that the traders were there, but I will say some more material we got from Gunur Depe. This confirmed that this is the Harappan site, Harappan traders camping site in the Turkmenistan. Next, please. Here you see some more steatite seed from Gunur Depe. This published by Danish and French and Parpula. And perforated typical Harappan pottery from Gunur Depe. Some Harappan animals on the round seed. And so below one, people is there. And the Gunur, there's oxes in 3000 to 2000 BC. Then you see the seated stone images from Gunur Depe, typical Mohenjo-daro type. Next, please. I told you that in the Harappa we have some mold-made mask also. This is from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, some mask, puppet mask, and some terracotta were made by by mold. Mold was rarely used by the mature Harappan people, but there is evidence of these all are mold-made terracotta. This famous male head from Kalibangan. Earlier it was in National Museum, now went in the Kalibangan. They made a separate site museum, Dholavira, Kalibangan, and other places. Rakigadi also they are making. So some of the material from National Museum going back. Next, please. Here you see some male figure from Naushero, new site, and from Mohenjo-daro. This right hand is a National Museum collection. Naushero is in the Pakistan collection exhibited by JRs. Next, please. And this is new excavation from Baror, exhibited by Urmil's son. Here you see the terracotta with the engraved design. She called it a Pashupati, seated Pashupati. Then other terracotta from Baror. Holes are there. This thing we never got in the Harappan art. So this is the thing. This was with us in the National Museum. Now in the archaeological. So below more detail of same. You see these holes were made for some fixing some incense burner, and here you see one round terracotta type objects. So some incense were some agarbatti type thing were fixed in. Then this site came from Virana. Virana is another newly excavated site. Excavator L.S. Rao is no more, so report is still unpublished. Next, please. These are some terracotta from on top right hand side Banavali, and then left hand side on top Dholavira. Then below that is from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Then below is Banavali. Large number of some more than 12 female mother goddess were discovered from Banavali. Now it was some are with us, some are in the Haryana State Archaeology. Next is this is some that double-headed terracotta is from Kalibangan. It was with us now in the Kalibangan site museum. Here there is an inscription, and I published this as a Shiva in a proto-Brahmi script. So there is some evidence of Brahmi also around 2000 BC in the Harappan sites, and there was some fusion of some other culture around 2000. Copper hole OCP. Sanoli is one of the examples where we got copper hole OCP together. Below you see the Nandipad, bullhead from Mohenjo-daro and Birana. Another similar type we got from Banavali. Then Shiva Linga with the Arga from Harappan period, Kalibangan. This is with us. And then stone Shiva Linga from Dholavira. Then Binjor, a Yag Kund made of terracotta was discovered with the one terracotta youp also. This is a major excavation, major discovery done by Sanjay Manjul and A.K. Pandey, and this Kalyan, this gentleman from Kalyan Krishna, he published this in a large research paper, and he said this is the Yagnikund. Next, please. These are the some other hummed and unhummed wool from Harappan site. I have some other polychrome. So they were having hummed as an unhummed wool from the Harappan site, Mohenjo-daro. Below one polychrome is from Nal. Next, please. These are some unhummed wool from below one is from Kalibangan. This was with us now in the Kalibangan museum. And this is some this toy card. This is a controversy that Harappan toy card model. Harappan toy cards were having solid wheel, but now we have evidence of spokes wheel also. Next, please. These are solid wheel. Next, please. Here you see some very interesting evidences where roots of symbol of Harappan art and continue during the early historic period. Here you see there is a one gold left-hand corner. There is a gold, flower. It is a part of one crown, silver crown. This is 3200 BC from Pune, and on each petal it has a Srivat symbol. Then you see the next to that is Srivat symbol of Kushan period from Mathura. So this Jain Srivat is also there in the pre-Harappan at Pune. Then below that silver, there is a lead copper alloy pendant, which is a spokes wheel type. We have got some 8 or 10 this type of spoke wheel from Mehergarh. This is from Mehergarh, and this is made of lead copper alloy, and this is dated 4000 to 3600 BC, and the spokes are 6 and 8. So 6 and 8. Remember 6 and 8. Then there is a Chiti type thing from Mohenjo-daro. This was published by Italian scholar. He says this is the fire platform, which was very popular during the Indus Valley civilization. About this, historically, stupa was erected. Then you see another wheel with the 24 spokes from Patliputra. This is now in Bihar Museum. Then again, I told about the woman killing the buffalo. I won't call it as Durga or anything. I will say this is the Adi Shakti. We are killing the demon. And this, you can say, the roots of the Mahishasura-mardani in the Harappan civilization. Then again, that's Namaskar and the seated Pasupati. Then again, that Yagya Kund from Vinjao. Then Yupa pillar from Dholavira, and we used to call it a pillar, but this looks like a Yupa pillar because red one terracotta Yupa pillar. Then Ashokan the pillar has back-to-back loin at Sanchi and Sarnath, but back-to-back loin terracotta is very well present in Harappa. Back-to-back woman figure is very well present in the Mohenjo-daro. It means roots of the early historic art style or art roots of symbol of early historic period. It exists in the Sanatani tradition of the Indus Valley civilization. Then you see the another one, 2nd century, 3rd century BC, gold cover of the sword. This is Indo-Greek discovered from Keria Tepe in Afghanistan. Here you see multiple swastika, clockwise as well, and next is anti-clockwise. So these see the wheels from Mehergarh, lead or copper wheels, 6 and 8 spokes. Then this another wheel from Dholavira, spokes are carved. Wheel from Banawa, spokes are carved. Then below one, wood wheel from Patliputra. This is a modern period. Then gold spoke wheel with the 10 spokes. Then this is the 32 spoke wheel, which was kept on the top of the Ashokan pillar of Sarnath. It means 6, 12, 24. These are tradition exists in the Indus Valley civilization. Even 8, 16, 32, as we get in the Vishnu images, we get chakra with the 8, 6, 16, and the 32. So these are our Sanatani tradition, and Kal Chakra, we get spokes Kal Chakra, and this confirmed that our roots were existing in the pre-Harappan as well as mature Harappan. Next, please. And this is, you see the more Kal Chakra of the more detail of the same 6 and 8 spoke from Mehergarh. And this is Dholavira inscription, where a signboard inscription, we have spokes wheel, symbol of spoke wheel in 4 times. So this Harappan spokes wheel mostly 6, 12, and 24. Next, please. You see the chariot from, I don't, because this just now Kharakwal told us, and this is from Daimabad, and chariot from, so here another new discovery from Kaushambi 2000 BC. This is in New York Oriental Museum. And then on top you see the Sanoli chariot, made, its wheel is made of wood and copper. And here is very interesting thing that in the wheel, the first row has 6 spokes, second row is 12 spokes, and third row has 24 spokes. And last row is not very clear. This is, they got 3 chariots from the Sanoli, and one is a complete. Next, please. More detail of Sanoli chariot. You see the chariot published by Dr. Sanjay Manjul and his wife Arvind. And here you see the detail of the wheel of the made of copper and wood. And here you see the spokes are very clear. Then below one is the another metal model of the chariot from Hungary. And this is some 2000 BC. Here you see the swastika at clockwise and anti-clockwise. I will go I will discuss about the swastika. Swastika anti-clockwise, clockwise, both were present in Indus as well before Indus. And these swastika are universal symbol. And we cannot say the Hitler swastika was anti-clockwise and our Hindu swastika is a clockwise. These all tradition is Sanatani tradition. Both the tradition were existing. Then the corner and the more detail of the wheel chariot from Sanoli. You see now it is very clear. First, inner first row has some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 spokes. Then next is a 24 spokes. Then last one is broken, not clear. It could be 32. So this is all, spokes 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32. These are our ancient tradition. Same thing were again shown on the Ashokan pillar at Sarnath and Sachi. So some people say this Ashoka chakra is a Buddhist. Some people say this is Jain. No, this is our continuous tradition, Sanatani tradition, which exists in India right from the mature Harappan, early Harappan phase. Next, please. Here we got 2 dancing from Mohenjo-daro. When India was divided, one went to the, this left one is with us, and the right one is in the Karachi Museum. This is the new discovery of the terracotta, pottery where from Virana, where we have card dancing, where a female is standing in the dancing pose. So this is discovered by L.S. Rao. L.S. Rao exhibited Virana, but he is no more. He was a Sudanese archaeologist in the Archaeological Survey of India. Next, please. I was talking about the clockwise swastik and anti-clockwise swastik and multiple swastik. These all appear in the India. These are all mature Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So clockwise, both exist in the Indus Valley civilization. You cannot say the Hitler was direction was different and our direction was different. You see the same thing in the Harappan site at Harappa and Mohenjo. Next, please. Here, the famous logo, multiple swastik symbol of Indira Gandhi Center of Art. And this was made by Kapila Vasan when Srimati Indira Gandhi was alive. So they say this multiple swastik first appeared at Pulkeshin period as a Chalukya's art piece. But here you see the multiple swastik even in the even the Mauryan period. You see the multiple swastik from this Patliputra. You see the multiple swastik. Then top right corner you see the multiple swastik from Piprava, Buddhist site, 6th century BC. Then there was some controversy that rings were not known by the before the 3rd century. But these are some gold ring, gold Harappan, gold with the set of stone, gold, coral from Haryana sites. And below one you see the silver ring from Mohenjo-daro, which has multiple swastik and multiple cross. So this is in the National Museum. And then lower one, gray color circular object has a chessboard pattern from Sanoli. This is OCP period, ochre color pottery. So Sanoli is a site where we notice the fusion of the Harappan and the copper hold and the ochre color pottery. Ochre color pottery in Harappan were also always existing in the western part of India, and the copper hold were confined in the main Ganga Yamuna Dwar. Later on, copper hold people went to the west, and western UP is a place where we get fusion of all these traditions around 2000 BC. Next, please. Here you see the swastik on Muslim monument. This is from Afghanistan, 11th, 12th century, Muhammad Ghori period. Here you see the swastik on the monument, clockwise, anti-clockwise, and then swastik on the sword of Indo-Greek, 2nd, 3rd century BC. So swastik is not monopoly of Hindu or Sanatini tradition. This is a universal symbol we get all over in the world, and this is later on adopted by Hindu also, and this became integral part of the Hindu mythology. Next, please. Here you see the earliest cross from Harappa, early Harappan period. Then cross which is made as a swastik. Its corner line were attached in the corner. This is from Mehergarh. The first one is from Harappa Ravi phase, and second one is from Mehergarh, grey color. This is pre-Harappan, then back side of the same dish. So you see the cross. So the cross is also exist, but its roots are very well present. Then Maltose cross, they call it Maltose cross, below one, and then modern cross. So cross is there. Actually, earliest evidence of cross we get from a site, Tata in Hungary, and their date of the this cross object, or this is not, the picture is not there, goes back to some 60,000 BC, Moscovian period. So symbols have some great antiquities, and this is developed all over the world. You cannot say one symbol belong to Hindu, one symbol belong to Krishna. Next, please. This is the Srivat symbol found on the silver crown of Kunal, and you see the Srivats and from Mathura, Ayak, but Srivat is there. Then this is other part of Kunal. Kunal is a pre-Harappan, and then Srivats is very similar, so similarity with the Trishul. And Trishul also, whether you can call it Srivats or Trishul, when it was discovered at Kunal long back, some 1984 or 86, At that time, our topmost archaeologists called it a Tyra, a Greek thing. But Greek Tyra is a early historic period, Alexander period. But this rivers is a Kunar period, pre-Harappan period. So much early, it can't be Tyra. So better we call it a Srivats or Trishul type thing, which is on the corner petals corner. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is now in the Haryana State Department. Chandigarh. Next, please. And the Srivats symbol is a Jain symbol, and this copper anthropomorphic figure discovered from various parts of Gangetic Plain and northwest India, also in the Nepal also. So our P.K. Agarwal, son of Vasudev Saran Agarwal, professor, he was professor in VHU. He says these Srivats, this copper anthropomorphic figure is proto Srivats. But this is his opinion. But I say that this anthropomorphic figure is a icon. You cannot call it a proto Srivats. But I am mentioning his name because he established history. Next, please. This is a very interesting discovery. This is from Gujari Kera in Panipat, discovered by Manjur, where an anthropomorphic figure have a Brahmi and Indus script and unicorn and boar, vara shape of the Centenary, very interesting. More detail, this Kalyan Krishna published more detail about this, and on the archaeometry study done by Manjul and Saran, they confirm this is the authentic piece and belong to 2000. Then gold anthropomorphic figure from Sanuri discovered by previous excavation by D.V. Sharma. Next, please. This is a new discovery, and the Pashupati, copper Pashupati tablet or plate discovered from Mohenjo-daro. This is chance discovery. Till today, we have some 17 Pashupati seal and sealings from Harappan site, and recently we got some 9 copper plates from Mohenjo-daro published by Sindeji and Dr. Rick Wills and Australian scholar. And some of the copper plates have 3 copper plates have the Pashupati, other have other animal. Next, please. One lady, Sunita Bharati, she says these are the copper plates which were used for painting the material. This earliest printing material device of the Harappan civilization. Her observation was supported by Wills and Sindeji, and she made a documentary. If anybody interested, I can send the documentary which she prepared. Next, please. These are some 3 copper plates. These are larger in size, 3 times larger than the copper tablet which we discovered from Mohenjo-daro. So this is the Pashupati, and very interesting, some 34 alphabets are there. Longest Harapti and incense burner is there, and this is from Mohenjo-daro. These 3 have the Pashupati, other have the other animal. Next, please. These are the other copper plates. I won't call it tablet because these are bigger in size. They are, you see the animal, bull, rhino, unicorn, and the elephant. Next, please. These are more detail of the taurine shape discovered, and you see the taurine is a Nandipad. Here, this is below one is from Dhalavira. A building plan is in the Nandipad shape or taurine shape. Next, please. Here you see some more bull. Bull was very important in the Ham bull and in the Harappan, some related with the Shiva. And this is, we got large number of bull terracotta we discovered from. Even the bull seal are larger in number. Then a bull take us in the heaven. You see the one pot from Harappa where a 3-tier decoration is there. Below is a patal where water is depicted. Then bull help the disease to go to the heaven. In the heaven, earth is depicted in the middle panel. Then top you see the star are there. That is the bull are taking dead body in the heaven. Atma, they are taking Atma in the and this concept was existing in the Indus Valley civilization. Then you see the bull in the Rampurva pillar, now Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rampurva pillar is a pre-Ashokan period, pre-Mauryan period, and here the bull, because you can date it around 3600 BC. This is in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The bull is a continuous religious or ritual tradition which began in the Indus Valley, pre-Indus, and continue in the early historic period. Both hump and unhump. This is a Harappan pot from Baluchistan, Amrina. Next, please. Then tiger, two tiger, a man is fighting with two tigers. And then we have three such scenes, all three are with us. Two are in India, one with archaeological survey, one is with National Museum, one is in Pakistan collection. And I prefer, in a similar type of thing we got from Mesopotamian site, and sometimes man fighting with a lion, man fighting with a dragon, and in India also one tablet show a man fighting with the two tiger standing over the elephant, and on top there is a spokesbill is there. So I prefer to call it Bharat because we have reference of Bharat Vanshi in the Rega Veda, and Bharat was the historical personality, son of Dushyant and Shakuntala, and maybe the similar pictures appears in the Mesopotamia, but Mesopotamia sometimes they show the dragon, sometimes snake, sometimes mythical animal, sometimes tiger, sometimes lion. And this dragon in the China, what you today call dragon, this is late. This is after 2000 BC dragon. Evidence of dragon is very late in China. It means the dragon motif was also borrowed from either from us or from Mesopotamia. Next, please. You see the back-to-back loin, and this is Sarnath, famous Sarnath. Two we got, one from Sarnath and a Sanchi. So this back-to-back loin we also get in the Indus Valley, Harappa. You see the below one is a back-to-back terracotta loin from Harappa in National Museum. Above is from Nashiro. Is a back-to-back elephant, lion, and other animal, three animal from Nashiro. Then back-to-back bull from Banavali. Then back-to-back bull from Dhelenova, excavated site in Punjab. So what theory was established by art historian that we borrowed this thing from Greek and Persian? No. Back-to-back animal are our own continuous tradition that was existing in India since the pre-Indus and Indus Valley period. Next, please. Here you see a goat is being sacrificed, goat sacrifice in the 7 figure. 7 is very important. Goat Qurbani is there. What today you can call it a Bakrid or Qurbani, but goat is still popular in Varanasi region. There is one Mundeshwari Devi where goat is sacrificed. So the goat sacrifice was a popular in the Indus Valley. You see the 3-4 seals we got from Mohenjo-daro, where we have a goat sacrifice. And goat was very popular, and there was more demand of goat in Mesopotamia. Our Harappan traders, Mehelua traders, they were taking the goat, good variety of goat for Sargon, king of Mesopotamia. So this is a picture from Mesopotamia side, some 3000 BC or 2600 BC old. So goat, you see on the one metal object. This is mountain goat. So goat is also we got on the sea. So goat is a sacrifice in the rituals, and goat is still sacrificed in the Hindu, and even in the temple. It is sacrificed in the Kachchh also. Goats are sacrificed. Next, please. These are some seal. Mountain goat is there. Ritual animal are there, collecting animal at one place, some bada type thing, and they will perform the ritual. Mountain goat was also found on the leopard and on the weight made of lead and copper alloy. This is from Saitum, pre-Harappan period. So goat, a leopard is attacking goat. This is from Shahitum. Next, please. In the goat sacrifice, we get from tablet in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and also Qurbani, we call it a Qurbani sacrifice. Goat burial were also reported from Mehergarh and other Sindhu-Saraswati civilization. Goat burial were discovered. Ashoka mentioned in his rock edict that pregnant goat should not be killed during the sacrifice or the ritual. It means this Qurbani ritual continued till the Ashokan period, and this is still continued in the in the form of Bali, in front of female deity, which Hindu sacrifice their goat. Next, please. Some of the things which back-to-back figure, typical Jain Polisarto Bhadra Pratima from Koshambi, Tanzania. And you see the back-to-back male from Mohenjo-daro, mature Harappan. Then back-to-back male from Kalibanga. So these things are early historic things, have a roots in the Indus Valley. Roots of early historic symbolic representation exist in the Indus Valley civilization. Next, please. This is people and unicorn. People was sacred in the Indus Valley, and the people from Kunal pre-Harappan period. Then people is also sacred in the Mesopotamia. Also, next, please. Fish is also sacred in the Mesopotamia. You see the in the Indus Valley and also in the Mesopotamia below right corner. You see the Mesopotamia, and then copper, Telia Tepe in the Afghanistan. Then fish from Mehergarh top. Then Rahman Dairy. So fish pre-Harappan we get on pre-Harappan pottery and Nal and Rahman Dairy, and fish continued even the mature Harappan period. Even the Kushan period, fish symbol we get in the Ayagapat. And Vasudhara is a famous Buddhist deity we get in the Gupta period onward. So this fish is the oldest. Even today, fish is sacred during our marriage occasion, and when the girl came to her sasural, some rituals are performed and with the fish. Next, please. This is a famous priest from Mohenjo-daro. This is in the Karachi Museum, and you see the trefoil design. Trefoil design is very interesting. They were doing some inlay work on. They wanted to show that this priest came from heaven. So that's why they were putting gold and statite inlay in this trefoil design, and on the head also some gold bead were fixed, and some you see the headband is also there. Next, please. A trefoil design from Mohenjo-daro, where this is a pedestal of some object. Some people say this is the argya, but maybe pedestal of some pillar or yupa. Then trefoil design we also get in Bahrain, goat in the Bahrain and Mesopotamia and also Indus Valley. Trefoil design is a next, please. A 7 number is Saptarishi is still famous, and this is historical art. We get Saptamatika, so 7 figure, a 7 number we get in the Harappan. And this is Alahadino. This is from Kalibanga. Below one is from Alahadino. Next, please. And these are some more material from Gunor Depe, left hand side Gunor Depe. So these are Harappan material. Similar material we got from Karnapura few days back. Our Prabhakar spoke about this Karnapura material. Today I think he spoke, or yesterday he spoke. Prabhakar from Gandhinagar in your seminar. And Baror also we got this type of material, some seals or tablets. So this is all Ganur Depe shows the similarity with the Harappan, mature Harappan. Next, please. Here you see the more Ganur Depe, ivory comb, typical Harappan, Turkmenistan, Ganur Depe. Some other button type seal from Gunor Depe. And this type of material we also got from Harappan side. So comb from Indus Valley, see that you can do the compare photograph. I mean, this type of thing we got in the Harappan side. So Ganur Depe is confirmed that this is the Harappan trading station in the Turkmenistan. Next, please. You see that this gentleman, Jain, looks like Jain Tirthankar, Cardiosar Mudra, hands are long hand. Long hand is typical characteristic of the male figure of Mohenjo-daro. Some yaksh figure was also discovered from Dholavira. So this again, Jain torso, Sharma from Harappa, and same thing continued from Lohanipur. You see the, but you see the polish. Polish is different characteristic of the Mauryan, but this type of polish exists in the Indus Valley, in the Harappa and Dholavira. And then you see the another seated yogi from Balathar, 1000 BC. Next, please. I told you about the TC fire altar, some Yagnakund from Binjore, and you see the terracotta yup was also discovered. This type of yup are still performed during the marriage ceremony of this Bal Mukund Pandey, famous Ityas Ankalan Samiti chairman. He's performing one Havan, in the similar rectangular Havan Kund. Havan Kund recently discovered from other side of. Next, please. Here you see that this is 3 days back discovery from a place D in Bharatpur district, border of Mathura. Here Vinay Kumar Gupta, superintending archaeology Jaipur, he discovered Havan Kund of a yoni shape. Yoni shape is very interesting. Yoni shape, even the fire altar of the Kalibangan and the Raki Gadi of Harappan, they are also in the yoni shape. So this is the some 1000 BC painted graveware deposit, and this is 3 days back. So yoni. So this all, Yagnakund shows the continuous tradition, Sanatan tradition from Indus Valley to the painted graveware. Today it is continuing. This is all by courtesy of Vinay Kumar Gupta. He was my student in the National Museum. Later on, I selected him as superintending archaeologist in the Archaeological Survey of India. Next, please. This Kalyan Raman confirmed these are the Yagnakund. Kalyan Raman write well. I was much impressed. But some other, administrative people are assisting him. He is in Chennai, write well. He says this is and this similar, he said that some Sangam literature also mentioned about the similar type of youth and the Yagnakund. And next, please. This unicorn is another thing which we get in the, an incense burner is another interesting ritual object which we get in the unicorn. Unicorn is a mythical animal we get mostly on the Harappan. Then you see the headband from gold from Mohenjo-daro, where we have engraved unicorn. Next, please. These are some more detail of the agate gold, hummed gold from Pur, Haryana. So somebody was asking why gold gold horn made of it. This is all interesting thing which we get. Then gold ring from Bhiwani, Kera, Haryana. Gold ring from Mohenjo-daro. Gold ring from Kumtasi. When this is gold pendant from Bhagwanpur, humble type. Next, stone pendant. Here I see this is very interesting. Gold needle. These left one is from Mohenjo-daro. The below one is with us in the National Museum. Above is with the Pakistan. Then another gold needle with the fence was discovered from Dholavira. Dholavira we got more than 12 this type of gold needle, gold and fence needle. So I feel these were threading needle for Jardozi were discovered from Dholavira and Mohenjo-daro. But people say that when the Muslim and Persian came in India, at that time, Jardozi golden wire work began in our textile. But this exists, something exists. These are I published in my book Harappan jewelry. These are needed for use for. Then below you see the gold, silver object and crown from this place, Kunal. And then you see the colors. Colors was in the Mohenjo-daro. and colors in the Ganga. Then Sindoor is there, vermilion, and this is the colors in Sindoor, which continued even today, and people also. So this shows our Sanatan tradition. Next, please. This is the polished stone pillar base from Dholavira, excavated by Mr. Bist and Prabhakar, and this already I won't go. This is Mr. Gorbachev, wife of Russian Prime Minister, and there at the time I joined this museum long back. It was 1986-87 picture. Next, please. Here you see some other polished pillar base. They call Kanmer say these are the pillar base, and he says that these were put one over the other. And he gave example of the Lucknow Jodharo terracotta object where these type of things are arranged in the row. But to me, it appears that these they are very different with the previous cylindrical pillar base. So these are looks me like a arg or yoni, or if can you say this could be a base of the pillar, but you see the other U type thing, they were fixed in this, and they this complete thing we call arga and the Shivaling. Next, please. Here more detail about the same thing which I have already said, and some you see that some symbols which exist in the Indus and continue during the early historic period. Next, please. This is a famous, from structure from Mohenjo-daro, where historical period, early historic period, stup is made on the platform, and then now Veneris confirmed that these are this is the fire platform, ritual platform of the Indus Valley period, and later on in early historic period, stupa was made. So you see the fire altar from Kalibangan. Then one Ratha Chitta burial was also discovered from Dholavira by this, and one stone right corner downward. You see from Dholavira where a stup is carved on the stone slab. The stup, early historic stup Chitti. So this Chitti and stup, these have roots in the Indus Valley civilization, because in Chitti there is a reference of Chitti in the Vedic literature. So Chitti later on developed as a stupa type cylindrical thing. So a platform, fire altar. So these all are the things which shows our continuous Sanatan tradition. I am not using the term Hindu. Sanatan means a continuous tradition. Some people confuse us. They say Sanatan is no. Sanatan is different. Sanatan is an ancestor of all the tradition which and this continues, and Sanatan continuous tradition. Next, please. Here you see some arg and linga from Harappa, top one. Then Shiva linga from Dholavira. Then below Shiva linga from Arga. So you see the very interesting thing. You see the pillar, the Ashokan pillar. Then a bull in the pre-modern period, Lord Bhairav. Next, please. These are climbing monkey from Pakistan, and one is with us. Next, please. Games, different type of games, and this is from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Chess, and you see more detail. Next, please. This is board from Lothar. Next, please. Fast. Horse was known to the Harappan. These are horse from Lothar, Mohenjo-daro, and other places. Some other animals, mythical animal. Next, please. This is other animal, terracotta animal. Next, please. 1 घंटा हो गया, sir. Yes. These are some of my books. If anybody interested, I can send some of the photocopy to you. Next, please. Some books I wrote. Some. Next week, Nagwada, a Harappan site in Gujarat that's by Sonavane. Next, please. This is the after Basant Shinde. I won't go on detail because he has already spoken. Some Harappan site in the Haryana. Next, please. This is pit dwelling, Basant Shinde Girabat. Pit dwelling is earlier we were saying this came from China, but here you see the large number of pit dwelling at Girabat, Kunal, and other site in Haryana. So pit dwelling is our pre-Harappan tradition, and this continued even the Neolithic period. Next, please. This is my book, and then you see the L.S. Rao, and this is L.S. Rao of Birana. You see at Birana we get early than the pre-Harappan period, some 4,000. The story began around 4,000 BC at Birana. Next, please. These are some new discovery from beats, straight beat from Kunal, new excavation recently done by Maniji. Next, please. And these are Kanmer, some geophysical survey was done by our Kharakwal, who just now did a lecture before me. So now we are using the remote. This is a famous Dhalavira seated Pashupati, and this is in the National Museum collection. More detail of several site poses there. Next, please. Here you see the stone from object from Mohenjo-daro top ramp, below two shivling from Dhalavira, then stone pillar base from Dhalavira. These are in the National Museum, and above one in the Pakistan. Next, please. This is Gujarat. Just go fast. Some more detail you will get at Dhalavira. Next, please. Next, please. This is the Rose D. Then these are the some other pottery. Next, please. This is perforated pottery. This is this is Kirasara, a newly excavated site, and like Lothal, Kirasara. This is my book, Harappan Jewelry and Beads. Next, please. This you see the similar thing is still going on in the present day. And the shell ornament. Next, please. This is jewelry from Neolithic age Mehergarh. This is new discovery from Ravi phase of Harappa. Here we got some inscription. It means some inscription, some script was developing between 3,500 to 2,600 BC before Harappa. Some signs, some pottery mark, but this is discovered by Jonathan Mark. Next piece, this is famous Dhalavira. This is the jewelry item from Harappan sites. The above top left side is from Mandi, solid gold. Bangles. But Harappan we are getting hollow gold. But at Mandi we got solid gold bangles, and in the Sanoli also we got solid gold bangles. So this is a new discovery than our nations and jewelry. You know, we have half collection from Harappa and Mohenjo, half jewelry. When India was divided, our half jewelry went to Pakistan, half with us. And something which was already existing in the Rashtriya they brought them. So even you see the necklace was divided into two parts. This is very bad thing. Next piece. Here you see the Mandi type gold necklace is still used in the present day in the films and other. So this tradition, replica of this. There's a Kunal, Lothal Kunal gold necklace. Then Kiresara gold necklace. This is all Kunal. Then Mandi and this sweater. Some more jewelry. This is a Mauryan period, Lohanipur, then Harappan. So you can see the polish. This Mauryan polish also exists in the dancer. The dancer, I will use the term dancer. I will not call maid. This is the elephant. This is a bull part discovered from polished bull form part discovered from Harappa in new excavation. Next, please. And this is next. This is a leopard weight from Saitum made of lead and copper alloy. Next, please. This is a new discovery of Lucy Juber Beller. He called it a Khoi script. This is a 2nd century AD inscription and from Afghanistan. This runs from right to left like Harappan script. So Maniji and other people says this could be possibility continued to Harappan script during the Kushan age. But for this, when one gentleman from Pakistan, he published, and if some new thing comes, then suddenly Western scholar jump and say this could be fake. But I say that if something is there, we have to find out some more material. Next, please. These are some material which got from Tarkanwala Dera, a newly exhibited site in Rajasthan by Pramod Trivedi, terracotta. And next, please. You see some more detail. Next, please. This is some boat, Harappan boat. Next, please. This is DNA. I won't tell about this because our Cindy has already said more about this. Next, please. DNA. I mean, then A.K. Pandey is there, who actually discovered this Binjore Yagnakund. Next, please. This is a Kanak, a newly exhibited site by Petri and JRN Singh. Here they got metallurgical, copper metallurgy, and then this is Haryana, Rajasthan border, eastern end of the Aravalli. So people talk just now. Kharakwal was also saying that Aravalli could be the main source of the Harappan copper and tin. So this could be possible because when you see the distance from Aravalli to sites in the Haryana and Rajasthan, they are very close, near. But if you say that they were bringing copper and tin from Afghanistan, from Bahrain, from West Asia, so that possibility is long distance. But Aravalli and now in the Udaipur area, where they have earlier said the Harappan never reached in the Ahar region. But recently, there is one discovery from one airport area, Maharana Pratap Airport in the Udaipur. There, Harappan and the Ahar and the copper ore were found together. So this is a new discovery done by Archaeological Survey and Kharakwal, sir. Next, please. This is Virana, some more copper, Nageshwar, Gujarat, and some metal object. Next, please. This is the copper object I am there with the MIT student. I was there as a visiting professor. This is Tappal is located in Greater Noida near the new airport. Tappal airport is under construction, and here is a high mound, big mound, where we got Harappan to early historic material. And Tappal is situated just on the confluence of river Hindon and Yamuna. This is easternmost side. Thank you. This is all. Thank you. This is my wife, died few months back. She was always with us in all the excavations. She's archaeologist from Nagpur. And last year we were together at Chennai. Madam Rajan invited us. And now something is difficult today. What problem is there? Because we are not having, all the arrangement. But I'm thankful to Arvind and thankful to you, Badri Sheshdari ji, and other madam. You helped me in this computer problem is there. I'm not well versed with the computer. Therefore, my daughter purchased so many computers for me. But anyway, I am learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we stop the sharing, please, Arvind ji? Yes, sir. Sir, we have few questions. I want to get a little bit more into the museum aspect of it, given your very long background there. So when you get, how do you get these materials? So one is excavation.
Yes. We were having at that time one director, Dr. S.P. Gupta. Later on, he became, and K.N. Dikshit was also there before me. K.N. Dikshit was head of the Harappan collection. So these people, K.N. Dikshit, and even sometime Romila Thapar also with us, and she exhibited one site in Faridabad and Ghaziabad, some early historic site. So we were taking help of these scholars. But problem with the Archaeological Survey of India, that they excavate. Sometimes their excavator died. Sometimes they retired. But they never published the excavation report. But they say, no, we can't give you material because this is unpublished. This was the major problem. So we were having an intelligent guru, Professor P.V. Lal. He was chairman of this Harappa Gallery, project. And B.B. Lal made chairman of the committee DGASI. And he said this is the joint gallery of ASI and National Museum. So the Best G also with us, and other people were also there from this Rawat, present Director General. He was young Rawat at the time. He was also there. So when we included the archaeological survey people in our project, then jointly Harappan Gallery was made, and we got Bhirana, we got Seri Kantar, we got Dayamabad, all heavy 4 branches, which was very difficult. This was kept in the Prince of Wales Museum, Bombay, for longer period. We also got some material from Rakijori, Amrinder Nath. S.R. Rao was with us. S.R. Rao was in our project, member, expert company. And our secretary, this Iyer, Vednath Iyer, he was our cultural secretary, now lives somewhere in Chennai already. So he is the more active. It was Atal Bihari Vajpayee time. And we got, material with the help of our secretary culture. I remember, because I remember at that time I was doing 2 publications, catalog of the terracotta and seal. But a year post the Director General of the National Museum, first we published Dr. Sharma catalog, then we will call the Prime Minister to inaugurate the gallery. Then Advani ji and Vajpayee ji came, and they inaugurated my book also in gallery. So this is a problem. People don't give the material. So you are saying about Chennai. I visited your Chennai gallery. Very few Harappan material. These are all
very little, very small collection actually.
But with the archaeological survey, they can give. For that, you have to move through the government with the central government, because they have a triplicate in the archaeological. They can give, no problem.
Now, the reason why I asked this question, you have multiple challenges. So you have teams which are excavating. Some are ASI, some are professors from different colleges, state archaeology departments. You have a need for a site museum, right? Whether you go to Dolavira, whether you go to, at least Lothal, there was a site museum. Then you have the National Museum. Then you have a regional, state level museum. And Harappan, the civilization is so important. We would like to have enough material because we would like to get children to go there, youngsters to go there, to really see for themselves. So there must be some kind of a policy where this is brought in. One. I have another question, Sharma ji. Now, strangely, this is a culture which does not get covered within the national borders. You have India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Oman, and other places where we are getting material, right? Is there any exchange policy? I mean, do we give some and get some from other countries? How does it work nowadays?
But in the Pakistan, it is very difficult to get anything from them, and then they may have something. But even the Kanmer and this Jerry's, they excavated sites. Jerry's excavated Mehergarh and Kanmer, Harappa, but they could not take any single material from Pakistan to. They asked for some research purpose, study purpose. They came to Pakistan and stayed there for few months and wrote the reports. So this is there. But for other country like Afghanistan, we can get. From Bahrain, we can get. But Afghanistan, we have. From this Turkmenistan, we can get. So we have to send our material on as a permanent loan, and we can get it. This type of loan is also possible from National Museum. Now there is one museum, National Museum of Civilization at Singapore, and our Gauri Krishnan was, chief curator there. Now she is in Delhi. This And at that time, our government sent so many sculptures in the Singapore museum. So even the international exchange is possible. So many exhibitions were sent to Singapore and Hong Kong. So this is possible. But if the director or curator of that museum wants something and he wants to give his material. So in the Southeast Asia, we have such. Korea, we have very good relation. And our people are going there. The people are coming there. They are Thailand also we have.
Okay. Sir, if any of us have to visit National Museum, with respect to the collection there, let's say we have only half a day to spend, what are the important artifacts that are on display there that we must see?
When I was leaving National Museum in 2007, end of 2007, at that time I displayed everything. Dr. K.K. Chakravarti was our Director General. He gave me a separate hall on the second floor. All the reserve collection is on display. And some 5,400 antiquities are in the ground floor. We call it a Harappan gallery. And there is another gallery, Early Man Gallery. They also, but Early Man Gallery is under construction. So for that, you have to take permission from Director. Now they have very able academic Director General, Dr. B.R. Mani. He was earlier additional director in archaeological. So if you approach his academic person, he will allow. And there's some young person who are also there as assistant curator. They will guide you. They will. But problem with when you talk about the some academic thing, because they are young, they can't tell you. But the archaeological survey people are the best. Rawat ji is a director general there. They can, and the Mani ji, they can help you. Even in the Dholavira site museum, Prabhakar is there in the Gandhinagar. He can help you. Then Kalibangan also, archaeological survey Jodhpur office is there. He will help you, and you can visit everyone, no problem. And if you want any material, any photograph from National Museum, I will provide you. But you have to write the courtesy of the National Museum. I have a large number of collections. Even some PhD student. Even I will tell you one incident. At one time, Upender Singh, daughter of Prime Minister, she was writing a wonderful book, and she wrote a wonderful book in Hindi, and she wanted some photograph from the National Museum, but she could not because the gallery was locked and things were under, gallery was under preparation. So she contacted me. I said, okay, you go to my house at Noida, and at the time my wife was there, and she went there and she collected the slides, and I said, okay, you take the slide, and whatever you want, you publish and then return. But write a courtesy of the nation. Please don't write courtesy of Big Bishop, courtesy of nation. See, similar thing happened with the Mark people. This gentleman, Dilip Chakravarti, famous professor in Cambridge, he wrote a book published by Mark, India and Indus Valley Civilization. Long back he published. And at that time, Nain Jyoti Larry, student of the Chakravarti, she approached me and she wanted some photograph. I gave so many photographs, and that wonderful color catalog appeared, published by Mark publication. So we must help each other in academic work, because excavation is done by Mr. X, Bist and Prabhakar. This is their credit. But when I am mentioning their name, that Bist is excavator and Pramod Trivedi is excavator, S.R. Rao is excavator. So this is S.R. Rao discovery. So there is no problem. They can show the material. And Harappan, lot of things in the Harappan we have to research. As I tell you, so roots of all the art object of a historic period exist in the Harappan or pre-Harappan. So I showed you some of the material. When I deliver a lecture, Jain people called me and they said, you only prepare Jain art in the Indus Valley civilization. I deliver a talk, Jain art, roots of Jain art in the Indus Valley. So a lot of things you have to do with the material. And but some Western scholar, the Indian archaeologists, especially Archaeological Survey of India, our present government is a nationalistic government. And some people are coming from America, some researcher, post-doctorate researcher, they are saying that they were eating beef and this, and they are analyzing pottery residue and saying that Harappan people were meat eater. So this we won't tolerate. For such type of research, archaeological survey also avoid, because this is dangerous thing. In the present situation, if something appear in the press or published, then archaeologists will be responsible. Present government won't leave him. So that's why some of the superintending archaeologists avoid some Western. Now we stop Western scholar. The Western scholar, they go to Kerala and then they meet Kerala Trivandrum professor. From there, they go to Chennai and other places. They never came in the northern part because we never. Petri is a nice person. Petri is having this project with the BHU, and he invited so many BHU students in Cambridge, and so many researchers from Cambridge came to BHU. So this type of reciprocal thing, if you do, we will right honor. But if you say that bone is of donkey, bone is not horse, and you will take our research scholar at Harvard, and our scholar will do the PhD, then she or he will say, no, this is ash, not horse. So when ash is there, then horse was also there, no? How, ash will be produced without the presence of horse. So we have a bone, horse bone from Rana Gundai, Harappan, horse bone for Surkodada. Even some of the Deccan College young scholar, they are hesitating in writing that horse was present, but horse is very well present in the Harappan. Even horse bone were there. So this some young person now we are developing in the scientific, even BHU also. In the we are doing the radar survey, we are doing geophysical survey, in archaeological survey, School of Archaeology, Nation Museum, Institute of Archaeology, Institute of Art History Archaeology. They have separate archaeology there in National Museum. They call it Institute of Heritage, under Dr. B. So there also we are using the scientific. Earlier problem was that we were not expert in the metallurgy, we were not expert in the geoarchaeology, we were not expert in geophysical survey. Now we have. Now IIT people, they are now with the historian, with the archaeologist, even this Kharagpur IIT person and the British geological survey people. So we are doing all these geophysical survey. So some scientists are also doing archaeology. Some DNA experts are also doing. So our Sinde is also working with BHU team, Nageshwar. So now situation is changing. So we will get within few days you will hear some new discovery in the Harappan. I showed you one slide from painted grave, where what we call it Mahabharat period pottery. Here they got Yagna Kund made of bricks, yoni shape. This is some 1000 BC. This is new discovery 3 days back from D in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. So this type of discovery, and this gentleman told me that when you say or when you deliver the lecture, you mention my name. I mention his name.
Sir, always when a lot of new material comes, I'm talking about not just physical objects, but also, even art or just a painting or a fragment or whatever it is. Chances are that there will be multiple interpretations, no doubt, right? The interpretations will be hotly contested. There will be some who will be who have been working in a certain direction may not agree, but that is how the academic space is. But eventually, when sufficient evidence and correlation, cross connections, etc., come up, slowly we move in a particular direction. Now, for example, there are 2-3 points alone that I would like to bring, sir. One is the copper plate, the seals that you had shown.
Copper tablet.
Yeah, there's one question which Professor Paramita Das asks: are they meant as molds for the seals?
No, but Wills and Sinde brought 2-3 points, and it's same was documented by Sunita Bharti. and that these are, I mean, size are 3 times bigger than the copper.
Larger. Okay. Okay.
So this can't be a token, which can't be
Correct.
related with the, something with the, ritual or something token, something. This is a printing material. They demonstrated also. Some bars, they Pleistocene, they demonstrated also, and these and then the copper tablet has inscription and the figure on both the side, back side and front side. But this copper plate, which I mentioned, 9 copper plate, they have only picture and inscription on one side. Back side is nothing there on back side. But the copper tablet has pictures on front side and back side. The copper tablet were used in the trade, and or the use as the identification of the particular traders. But these copper plates, these are definitely, we got 9, and till today we 3 are having the, this, and now you see these copper plate were analyzed also. Metallurgical study were also done, hardness, other things. This was done by Australian scholar. This basically Australian scholar, and for that he confirmed that these are the Harappan. And the problem is that sometimes some material appears without excavation, so we should not reject it. We should keep it, and we should say that this should be under examination. Some chemical examination going on. The archaeological department must keep such material. So I showed you one bull chariot part bull from now Oriental Museum in New York. This was from Kaushambi, my Allahabad area, and but when this came in the National Museum for purchase, we rejected. This is stay fine, we won't purchase. But later on, they did scientific analysis and confirmed this is copper hold period 2000 BC. Now I am myself feeling sorry why I rejected the thing. So we should not reject. This is the major problem. When we reject, this is not antiquity, then they will take it. They will can export it. So don't say this is antiquity. This is doubt. This is the best. This Jagatpati Joshi and myself, and we were in our subcommittee of ASI, we were doing Bibi Lal Sahab and other. We were saying yes, it should be analyzed. So this Manjul anthropomorphic figure, what Kalyan Raman wrote a paper, anthropomorphic figure. Manuel Joseph also wrote a paper. So this is also one of the interesting things. In beginning, they are saying that this could be this is stay fine, this could be not original. Then Bal Subramanian from IIT Kanpur, he examined the thing and confirmed this is the original copper ore. So now things are changing. In India also, we are having an expert from IIT, and they are helping the archaeologists, and they are writing joint paper. And for that, archaeologists are happy to give their material. But we should be careful when the foreigner come. Even the D.P. Agarwal was coming to me when he was examining copper ore, and he wrote a paper, he gave my name also in there. So that is there. But when you write a joint name, then no problem. So this anybody can do with the archaeological excavator. And then.
So is there a comprehensive written volume of all the Indus material, Harappan material, the classes? I'm not saying every single one has to be documented, but something which says, these are the different types of Harappan material that have been discovered, cataloged, and these are the characteristics. Something where in one place, I'm sure you have yourself written a lot of books.
Yeah, I tell you, for Harappan seal and sealing, there are some 5 volumes edited by Parpola, Jagatpati Joshi, MC Joshi, and V.M. Pandey. So these are 5 volumes. Parpola is a co-author of all. So these are published, and now V.M. Pandey is publishing the 6th volume, where new excavation seals are discovered. He will include all these things. Then there is I mentioned the name of Sherry Clark. She is a Kanmer student, but did PhD from Harvard, and she is assistant professor there. And she also wrote a complete catalog on Harappan terracotta. And I wrote a terracotta complete documentation in 3 volumes, which include Harappan. I also wrote jewelry, but the new material is also there. But some material is there. But for that, you have to see many books. Then now, if you want to write a complete catalog, then we need some grant, some Tagore fellowship type thing.
True, true. No, I was thinking more in the lines of an introductory book to a lay audience, people who are not experts in this field.
I will tell you one incident. When I was a young person, some says around 35 or 32, and I was at Harappan, my assistant came to me. He said he's writing activity book. I said, okay, I will help you. So he prepared an activity book around some 100 pages. And in last, he said, I am going in an interview for assistant professor in Baroda. If you don't mind, I will just speak your name as a forward by you. And I am the author. I'm like, no problem. Then and that book was being published. Then my director general, he called me. He said, show me the book. Then he called one gentleman, Mulk Raj Anand. And Mulk Raj Anand made a nice correction, English correction, and it was did by him. Then I asked Dr. Sir Mulk Raj Anand, can I mention your name? No. Do you want any money for it? No. This is only 60 pages, 80 pages. Okay. Then that book was published, and this book is a nice book, some 40 to 60. If I have, I will send you photocopy or some another book published by National Vision, Harappan Civilization. This 100 pages book. You will get introduction of the colorful book, and price is not much. It is around say some 500. That I can give you if you want.
Sure, sir. We will get in touch with you.
In the beginning, I was writing a small book. But what happened when I was going for interview in the university, they said, only this much is small, only 100 pages. And then I started writing big book. There were one book, Harappan Art of Sindhu Saraswati Civilization. This is 3 volumes. Terracotta Art of Harappan. This is in 3 volumes. This is published, and this is cost is also there, 15,000, 20,000. So colorful book. So now, if you want, this I can send you in some concession, 50% concession. They
sure,
give me.
sir. Absolutely. We would love to get it. Thank you. Thank you, Sharma ji, for a wonderful lecture.
I should thank Gauri ji and Mahadev ji or you, and also Dr. Neeru Mishra, who she proposed my name, Neeru Mishra from Delhi. And when I left Nation Vision, she was HOD in the Nation Vision Institute. So sometimes you search the people, and this time you called 10 or 8 people, but I know all are international standard. This even the younger one was this Prabhakar. Prabhakar was once with me when I was organizing Harappan Gallery. So with the best, he was working with the best. So all the people whom you invited in this lecture, they are best.
This last 6 days have been phenomenally rewarding. I know Gauri has to give vote of thanks and give a quick roundup of all the talks. But thank you for your patience sitting through, and so much of material we have learned by just looking at the images and are really wondering. Oh my God! I mean, there's so much there to really go through. The different types of art forms, material, utilitarian material, and beyond. It's just fantastic, really. Thank you once again for your wonderful presentation, sir. Over to you, Gauri.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharma ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
You want to, yeah.
Yeah, with this, we come to the end of today. Once again, I thank Dr. Kharakwal and Dr. Sharma for their exemplary lectures today. Now, before we conclude the event, a vote of thanks. Thank you so much to Professor S. Swaminathan, our co-founder and the guiding force behind THT and all our endeavors. Thank you to Dr. V.S. Ramachandran, Director, Center for Brain and Cognition, UCSD, for planting the idea of the Indology Festival in our minds. Now we have successfully completed its 4th edition. Thank you, of course, to all our wonderful speakers, Dr. Bisht, Dr. Ajit Prasad. Just 1 minute. 1 second.
No, it's all fine. You can just proceed.
Yeah. No, I'm not. 1 minute. Yeah, Dr. Bisht, Dr. Ajit Prasad, Dr. V.N. Prabhakar, Dr. Dennis Frennis, Dr. Greg Jameson, Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Jennifer Bates, Dr. Brad Chase, Dr. Mayank Vahia, Dr. Cameron Petrie, Dr. J.S. Kharakwal, and Dr. D.P. Sharma. A very special thanks to Dr. V.N. Prabhakar, who not only guided us in putting this event together, but also helped us to curate the various speakers. A very big thank you to all the scholars and our friends from around the world who logged in over the last 6 days and gave us words of encouragement and praise. And last but not the least, apart on our own backs, thank you to the THT volunteers who worked diligently to make this program a success. Thanks to Shamsi Raman, our program director, Kishore Mahadevan for logistics, VSS Iyer for collateral design, Shiv Shankar Babu for handling the social media, Badri Seshadri for being the moderator, and me, Gauri Naren, for being an MC. Last but not the least, finally, a very big thank you to all of you who have traveled with us in this journey over the last 6 days. Thank you so much for your presence, for your patience, for your questions, words of praise and encouragement, and words of criticism. We welcome everything from you. We hope to be back and see you next year with our next edition of the Indology Festival. Till then, au revoir from all of us. Thank you once again. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For all those who missed any of our talks, they'll be available at our YouTube links.